Warning: the following content may contain elements that are not suitable for some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome back to the Bard's Playhouse Presents Tales from Shadow Valley, Season 5, Episode 3, Usurper's End. Thank you so much for joining us. Now let's bring in our wonderful cast. We have Eldritch as Khan, the Godslayer, Ritzolo.
Always great to be here. I'm gonna finish what I started.
Shane as Zavid, weird boy of the twin gods of brutality and cunning.
My life is a patchwork of different IPs.
And Elliot as Reese Guiltleaf, the secret scourge.
Yep. Got a new title, baby.
As always, I'm Lumpy Bronzearm and will be your DM for today. Last time, Lux Et Umbra stood before a goddess. Within the Palace of Love Eternal, in the Maelstrom, realm of Nethys, god of magic, stood our mighty heroes, tasked by a myriad of gods with the task of slaying Urgathoa, goddess of undeath, the newly minted demigods powered up. Khan kicked open the doors to a massive ossuary, desecrated and transformed. The bones of thousands of interred lovers had been unceremoniously ripped from their resting place and constructed into a massive tree-like effigy. From this unholy insult to love and death hanged Nadiri, goddess of tragic lovers, weeping rivers of mana, pure elemental magic. Before Nadiri loomed the half-skeletal form of Urgathoa, slowly slicing flesh from the maiden's body with the scythe of souls. High off a recent ascension to mythic champion, Khan kicked open the doors to the hall, releasing a blast of lightning at the masses of skeletons and ghouls shambling about. Wasilka the Gastastic leapt far into the fray, pulling away the attention of Decima and Morta, Urgathoa's two remaining daughters, but taking quite a beating herself. Powerful lich clerics faithful to the Pallid Princess used their unholy divine magics to rejuvenate their undead allies, undoing much of Khan's shocking work. Veltel, ever the hopeless romantic, wept upon seeing her lover Xander no longer in control of his own actions. The ghostly dwarf could only beg to be stopped as his body moved in to attack his true love. Dany inspired her allies in the face of this deific threat, hurling magical bolts from atop the back of her flaming leopard Arwen. Realizing he was within an ossuary filled to the vaulted ceiling with bones, Zavid summoned forth a veritable army of undead squirrels, known as squirrels, to attack the swarming skellies and ghasts. Lost my place. Nadiri begged to have her wounds healed as she could aid in the battle, but could only scream and weep as her flesh was sliced off in long strips. Taking this time to assess the battlefield, Reese called upon the orcish wog magic of purple, rushing forward with the stealth of the ascendant trickster. Khan clearly did not appreciate having her damage healed, so she took to wing, driving her new spear of legend into the audacious lich who was to blame. Seeing her minions had not swatted Lux Et Umbra away, Urgathoa ceased her ritual, swinging the Scythe of Souls down at Khan, dealing a searing blow to the Nephilim rat. However, in her single-minded focus, the Pallid Princess was unable to spot Reese sneaking underfoot. Finding herself surrounded, Wasilka leapt to a nearby pillar, proclaimed her faith in Lux Et Umbra, and proceeded to cast a protective ward upon her childhood friend. In a moment of understanding, both Zavid and Khan realized that Wasilka the Gastastic had witnessed Lux Et Umbra perform a miracle and ascend to demigodhood. The power of her faith had caused the halfling mime to become the first cleric of Lux Et Umbra. During the chaotic din, from the shadows crept a nightmare from trauma's past. The magic bane Bandersnatch had gotten the drop on Zavid, tackling him to the ground and suppressing his divine powers. However, unlike before at Dany's reception when the beast did not attack and merely held Zavid to the ground, this time it took a large bite from the weird boy's shoulder. Leaving her demon-blooded wolf Ares behind to help Zavid, Dany rode forward. Hurling a perfectly placed dagger and scathing insult directly at her auntie Urgi, the Queen of Druma soothed Nadiri's wounds, giving her some strength back. Thankfully for Zavid, Yangwei Fei, one of the skeletal lovers, was nearby and cast some rejuvenating magic into his wounds. Between his tears, Xander was forced to attack his love that had been spoken of in tales, Veltel. Thankfully, his hammer found no purchase, as the banshee was lithe and elusive. From the ground, beneath the massive paws of the Bandersnatch, Zavid managed to pull out his anti-magic crystal purchased in the black market within the sewers of Sayash To, and stab it into the foul beast's neck. Momentarily removing its naturally occurring anti-magic field, Zavid saw an opening and magically wrested control of Xander using his powerful necromancy. Though still spellbound, Nadiri's growing strength allowed her to fire tears of pure mana directly at the Pallid Princess. Quiet and invisible, Reese called upon his newly learned magics, jumped up high to slap Urgathoa's meaty ass. The tricky purple elf used his powers of truth-seeking to steal every secret of undeath known to the goddess. In a flash, Reese learned 28,000 years of occult secrets, secrets Zavid would kill for. For a brief moment, Urgathoa became disoriented, having had her knowledge drained from her mind. In this moment, Khan saw her opening. Wielding the eye Hystia...
Wait, can I correct you?
Yes?
Drained from her ass.
That's true, drained straight from her ass, not from her memory. You are correct. Straight from the...
Memory is stored in the ass.
It's memory stored in the ass.
The bigger the ass, the better the memory.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, God. In this moment, Khan saw her opening. Wielding the eye Hystia, spear that committed the first murder, Khan called upon the impossible power within the blade. With a whisper of the true name of the goddess, Urgathoa Evenheart, and releasing the death scream of Ihis, Khan Rizzolo finally achieved her destiny. With a single stroke of the eye Hystia, Urgathoa's severed head fell hard to the floor, her body a squelching thud beside it. Unable to believe their eyes, Lux Et Umbra began to celebrate their victory. However, it was short-lived. Urgathoa's voice resonated through the chamber as the bones all began to coalesce around her spiritual essence. Gaze ye at the true face of undeath, and tremble. And this is where we come in today, within the battlefield inside the ossuary, in the Palace of Love Eternal. First up within the initiative is Urgathoa's true form. Her body gets to make an attack, and I have notes, thankfully. As she roars in anger, she begins to rear back and cast a mighty spell at all of you. She is casting a 10th level cataclysm spell as earthquakes, floods, fires, electricity, acid, and poisonous smoke all slam into the battlefield within a 60-foot radius. And I have a circle somewhere. Let me move the circle, please, Fantasy Grounds.
Yep, it's off to the side. I saw
there
that.
It goes. Do you see it?
Yep.
Yep, there we go. And I can hit everyone except Nadiri and Danny. So, Cataclysma. I'm going to make all of you roll a DC 42 Fortitude. Reflex save. Because a whole lot of people were still in range.
Yeah.
Reese critically saves. Zavid regular saves. Squirrels fail. Ooh, what critically failed? The Magic Bane Bandersnatch critically failed with a natural
That's
1.
amazing.
Oh my. A success from Youngwei Fei. Veltel critically fails. Not great. Xander. Khan critically succeeds. Rot Trot critically fails. Not super great. And then a couple more failures, and Wasilka critically succeeds. So, a couple of critical successes, but a couple of maybe not so great critical failures. Let's see here. First is acid damage, which is 10, then 3d10 bludgeoning, 3d10 cold. Oh, maybe I shouldn't do it so fast. I'll let Fantasy Grounds catch up.
Yeah, you know how it's been lately.
And electricity. 3d10 bludgeoning.
Oh, here we go. This is it for me.
And 3d10 fire. That is thankfully the last of that. But that was only 2 actions.
That was
That's
only
the
2 actions?
Only
one.
2.
That was her one.
I cast
10th level spell,
Cataclysm.
thankfully.
I'm also, with my last action, going to scratch my bony ass because I have an extra... I just have all this time on my turn after I just did that. Come on, Urgathoa.
Auntie no playing.
Then she is going to cast her death-stealing gaze at Khan, because you are the one who removed her head. I need you to roll me a DC 44... What is this save? Fortitude save, publicly.
Don't forget you have
44.
Foresight, which I think as a reaction means you can re-roll
That's true.
a save.
That's
Yes,
true.
yes.
Yeah,
Just
if you need
a
to,
reminder.
you can re-roll it as a reaction.
All right. Fortitude, you said?
Yes, Fortitude, DC of
Okay.
44.
You saw this coming. Your third eye knew she was going to go for you.
I think Khan's regular eyes knew that Urgathoa was going to go for her.
It's pretty clear.
You were mid backflip when she
50.
went
You
to
succeed.
hit you with this.
So, Con, you manage to look away as you critically succeed on her spell, taking no damage and receiving none of the ill effects of her ability.
Let's
Wow.
go.
Well done on that. Silka is up. She's going to use her first action to sustain Forbidding Ward, the spell she cast on
Yeah.
Yukon. So
If I
that's the
can, I think
AC
that
and
Khan
the.
got like god blood in her eyes and was like, ugh, ow, ow, and then that's why she couldn't see.
I can see it.
Love that. Yes, perfect. So Wasilka is going to use one action to sustain the AC and resistance on, or the saves on Yukon. Then with a second action, she's going to pull this bottle she has off her belt and say, "Bottoms up!" and drink not a potion, but it's an oil of unlife, healing herself for 6d8 plus 20.
Nice.
Nice, 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 nice,
Two,
nice.
3, 4, 5,
Nice, nice,
6.
good,
She needs
good,
it
good.
real bad. She needs it real bad. 48. Oh, I don't want to do that in my head. So 207 minus 48.
I forgot what it was in
159
Stride
wounds.
that we were just like, this, Shane was just like, this is too much math. I'm like, yeah, we're not Eli. We're not Mr. Loves Calculus.
Yeah, I love calculus, but I'm bad at arithmetic. So, excuse me, I did want to cough into the mic. After healing herself with the potion, sustaining the spell, she's going to look at Yukon and say, "Let's get in there. We gotta finish this. No one else
That's
will."
right.
And she's gonna ghoul leap 55 feet straight forward into this fray, right up against
Imagine
the
she
hand
goes
of
the
Urgathoa.
opposite direction. She's like, I'm running away. I'm going home. What?
Bye.
I'm
I'm
done.
out. You guys have this.
This is hard. I
You'll
don't want to do
handle
this
this.
anymore.
Wee,
Yep.
all the way home.
And her ghast leap was her haste action, and her last action is going to be to flurry of blows with the dark silver short sword against Urgathoa's right arm. So it's a hit. Let's see if she hits again. God, monks are great. Second was a miss. Okay, so just one hit with the short sword. But hey, every little bit helps, right?
Yeah.
Dealing 19 damage, but a bunch of it was absorbed because, that's right, some of it is temporary hit points, and I forgot one other thing that happened right before Wasilka jumped in to attack. Just forgot to do it, my bad. As the cataclysmic spell rained down upon all of you, and I can remove that pointer. Yeah, go away. As the spell rains down, the ground is rumbling, the walls are shaking, the cracks are getting wider, and the walls start to break down, and in begins to flood the mana waters of the Rio de San Junipero that you saw flooding outside, that Danny formed a freezing bridge over. It begins to fill the room, and this is not water, it is mana. But
Ooh, mana.
it is not. It doesn't get to do anything other than flooding in. Zavid, you are currently prone on your back under the Bandersnatch, so you're going to not be able to breathe here very soon. Then with Silka, she got her flurry of blows. That's all she needs to do, and it is the Bandersnatch's turn. So Zavid, you are still under it. It is going to attempt to claw at itself so that it can try to get that crystal out of its neck. But if it does, it's going to hurt itself. So we'll see. It does hit itself. So it dealt 36 damage to itself, but I'm going to say that the crystal falls out, and as an action, it is going to reactivate its anti-magic field. With its third action, it is going to attack you, but it has to take a penalty.
What does that
because
do to
it
the
attacked
mana?
itself first. That's an interesting question. I'm going to say that it... Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. That's an
Would it
interesting question. I'm
overpower
gonna
the
make it roll
field, or would
something
it make the mana
Yeah,
disappear or
interesting.
divert around the orb so I could breathe? I don't know.
I'm going to make it roll something. What do I know to make it roll? That's very interesting. I hadn't thought about that at all. Abjuration. It radiates an anti-magic aura in a 20-foot radius. Should the aura be brought down, it returns automatically, or it returns as an action on the Bandersnatch's next turn. Magic Bane Bandersnatch is that gaze and quick recovery.
Favorite actor.
So
I will make that joke to.
yeah, I'm gonna say it makes a radius, so you're not drowning. Yeah, it's gonna make a
So there's
radius around itself
a
of
bubble where
anti-magic.
it
So
moves
there's like
around.
a
Okay.
hole, like a Moses bubble. Yeah, like a Moses bubble. And then it's going to use its third action to attack you with its jaws, but it's at a penalty because it already attacked itself.
I
Natural
mean,
9, still a hit. Not going to crit you though.
I
You've
have I
gotten
have
lucky with
very
this thing.
low
It hasn't crit
AC.
you at all when it has a very high. You did get that shield though, which is helpful. You take 37 damage, but that's the end of its turn. That's all it can do. And the anti-magic bubble is back up. But you do have the big kilogram chunk of anti-magic crystal. Okay,
Yeah.
it is Danny's turn. She is all the way to the north, next to Urgathoa's true form and Nadiri. Do you still think she should heal Nadiri? Because Nadiri is still calling out for heals. What does the group think?
Mm,
Uh,
I feel like, and this
where's
is,
Nadir?
I feel like
Far to the north.
most of us have a little emergency help, which is turn into a dragon and get a lot of temporary hit points.
Yeah.
And Nadiri does not.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
True.
I also am in no position to help Nadiri. So I mean,
I can't even heal
Okay.
anyone.
like I'm
That's
literally going to die if I don't get this thing off me. So I think Danny sees this other goddess who's like, "Help me and I'll help you." Um,
Hmm.
it's fun being a dragon, but you can only really be a dragon when you're a dragon. I think using her magic, she's in a spot, she's right here. Like this is the perfect place to like do healing if she was going to do it. And I think that's what we wanted her to do last session. So I think she should just
True.
go help the goddess and see if the goddess can help us in turn.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay, great. All right, if that is the group's decision, then she's going to look up and say, "Oh, here's all the healing I can manage." And she's going to use a lay on hands, so 54 hit points right off the bat, and then she gets plus that's all on that. So that's one action. But then she has, I think, soothe. Let me see. Yeah, she has soothe, and she has one ninth level slot. Should I use that, or should I use a lower one?
Use the lower
Probably
one.
lower, huh? All right, I won't burn her all her slots. Let's see. She's got two seventh level slots. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. 7d10 plus 28 on a soothe. That's another 55. So that's 109 healing to Nadiri. That is extremely helpful. Let me see what she is at. 177? 222. Okay, 223. All right, that is the end of Danny's turn, except the animals can go. That's right. Arwen does not see Reese. Okay, so she's going to just jump up out of this mana onto this little ledge here. Come on, select the cat. There we go. Move her onto this ledge and attack the arm. There we go. Come on. Ooh, Arwen is hurt. Sorry, Fantasy Grounds is being a little chuggy. There it goes. Nat 2, that's not going to do it. Ares is going to try to help you, Zvid, by jumping over here and biting at the Bandersnatch.
Thank you. Pull him off of me.
That's a miss. But
Thanks
it
for
can
trying.
try its athletics. It can try its athletics.
Has Ares and Arwen been leveling up with
Plus-
us, or have they remained static?
I believe they have been. 17. Oh, I didn't level them up to 18, but they have been. 46, actually, that is enough. So even though it doesn't do damage, it wrestles the Bandersnatch off of you, leaping out from the mana, grappling it with its claws, rolling it off of you, Zavid. So,
Thank
and
God.
Ares' turn. Arwen's done. Okay. It is the layer action's turn. Fabulous.
Love
So,
it.
the flowing tears of Nadiri cause wave. Ah, yes. Okay. I want Zavid to roll publicly a religion check. Con, I need you to give me Arcana. You're looking for a 42.
Okay.
Am I seeing something and trying to understand something?
Trying to remember something.
Okay, all right, I'll roll one.
But that was
Critical
great,
success.
Con. Yeah, both of you crit succeed. Jeez, good luck. I thought 42 was a pretty good DC. Lordy, lordy, lordy.
I mean, it
So,
is, but we're getting plus 30 something. So I mean, actually, we
Let's
can
see.
we can more often than not make that.
Yep. So let me see let me see what happens first. Give me a moment. I have to roll the thing. So there's that. And then this. Okay. And that's scroll, 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 scroll. Okay. Interesting. You see all of this roiling, foaming mana flowing everywhere, and you saw Wasilka leap over to that arm, the right hand holding the scythe, and you see her get splashed with this mana, and as it does, she accidentally casts Levitate upon herself and begins to float.
Oh
Whoa!
my god.
Reese, or not Reese, David and Khan, you recognize something that was said when you were shunted into the past, when you were witnessing Danica, Danny's mom, get the key inside of her. They were talking about how the conjunction had passed at that point, the worst part of the conjunction. They said the chaomancy had stopped. And you realize that this must be what they were talking about. When all of the planets are aligned, there's what's called chaomancy, which you may know better as wild magic. So,
And we're not even
one of
at
the
that
effects.
point yet, but because there's
You're not even
so
at
much
that
mana, it just sort of is
Exactly.
happening. Got
Exactly.
it.
100%. Yep, because there's so much mana here, it's recreating an effect of the high conjunction, the chaomancy. So what you just saw, what I just rolled for, was Wasilka just rolled on the chaomancy table, got a 46, which casts Levitate on yourself. So Wasilka now has Levitate.
Oh, that's fun.
All right.
Okay, that is the end of that. Urgathoa's right arm, her true form, it gets its attack. Khan, you're within range, so you are getting a scythe directly
All right.
at you. Scythe of Souls. A hit, not a crit. Again, you are all so lucky I'm not rolling high. It was only a nat 8. You take 52 damage from it, though. And let me see.
Khan's gonna go down.
Focus shadows.
I swear I had.
So no one has.
Foresight?
No one has death
Can you
stealing
foresight
gaze.
that?
Good.
Because you didn't do that yet, right?
Oh, maybe. That's
Reaction
true, she
to
didn't.
make
Can
it
you,
re-roll,
Make
yeah.
me roll at disadvantage. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
At least
could've sworn
try.
I had more health than 20 health.
Yeah.
No.
All right. So you have to take
It would
the
have been
lower.
Yeah, nat 20. The
Alright.
one
Wow.
I just rolled. Yeah.
Well, at least you got that out of
many
the
hit points do you
way.
have?
That's not happening somewhere else.
Yeah. But that is it on its right arm. They're not as powerful once they are separated.
Yeah.
Yang Wei Fei. Yes, I have a note. She is going to look to you, Zavi, and say, "Please, we need you up and in this fight. Here, I cannot do much, but this might be able to help." And she is going to cast Regenerate on you.
Oh my god.
You gain. That's incorrect. That's the incorrect level. That cast is level 1. It's supposed to be 7th level.
That's it? That's all you're doing for me?
Oh, it's
Not enough.
Oh, it's 15 fast healing. 15
Yeah.
fast healing. So you'll be getting
Yeah,
15
I-
every round.
Okay.
But then she also has, I believe, medicine. Yeah, so she's going to do a battle medicine on you. That is more than enough. So that is 4d8 plus 30. Give yourself an additional 44 hit points, Zavid.
44. All right, we'll
Yep,
do.
4-4.
Oh,
Zender is up, and he is finally under your control, no longer attacking all of you or Veltel, so he's going to stride twice. We must take her out! She is vulnerable in this state! She has led me to believe that she cannot last, she cannot hold it longer! We must take her out now! And he's going to swing his warhammer at her arm. He hits! Hooray! Nat 10 was a hit. Great.
Hit, hooray.
Hit, hooray. Yep, a little bit was absorbed because it does have temp hit points. Then... Zavid, you're up.
Zavid, near death and just barely starting to get back up from this healing. He feels his wounds slowly closing and the big chunk of flesh that was ripped out of his shoulder slowly beginning to regenerate itself. He's struggling. He gets up and he gets onto Rot Trot and he's just like, keep that fucking thing away from me. And he gives the anti-magic knife to what's her name? The young Gui Fei. I'm like, shove this in that.
Cool.
Please. Like, and I'll also command the squirrels to occupy the Bandersnatch. Get it out of this fight. I don't want to deal with it, is what I'm saying. And I have Rot Trot move me forward so that I can get over to Khan, who's looking worse than me right now. But you really can't tell because she's always bloody. But I'm like, wait a minute, that's your blood. And I'm gonna.
That's not the right color.
And I'm going to use a focus point to give you Undeath's Blessing, and we about to double action harm heal you. So,
Hell yeah.
I believe it's +2 per level, +8, it's +10 per level, so it's +90. So here you go. How many is this? This is 7, 8, and 9. All right. Khan heals 157 points of damage.
Holy shit.
As I
That's awesome.
Undeath's Blessing and 2 action maximum harm here. I also have haste, don't I? Well, that was the move. That was the move onto the horse. I already did that, I guess.
Oh yeah.
I moved onto Rot Trot and got up and all that. So, okay, that's fine though. Where am I moving? Wait, let go.
And the squirrels, they rush over to the Bandersnatch. It critically failed with a nat 1, one of its saves, and it failed the other one. So it just took a boatload of damage, like well over 100. So it's way over bloodied, and it's actually pretty close to death. Your squirrels are nothing to joke about.
And I yell out, "Devour its flesh!" And I'm still breathing heavy, but hopefully you're back in fighting shape, Khan. That was the goal.
Thank you.
No problem. Since you're still at 20,
That's
did you
the end of your turn?
add I guess you have to subtract it from the wounds. That's such a weird thing on here.
Okay.
It is a strange thing.
I'll calculate it. We can move on.
Yeah, use a calculator because I can't.
Yeah.
My brain is.
Then Nadiri, she is at
Oh my god.
223.
I just realized what I rolled.
That's her hit points.
Yeah, you rolled
8, 9,
What'd you
9, 7, 8, 9, 7, 9. And then one nat 1. I rolled very high. Holy shit.
Oh yeah.
Wow, that's
awesome.
cool. I didn't. I was like, oh, that's normal, right? No, that's above average.
It's really good.
All right, so it becomes to Nadiri's turn. Let's see. Yes, she is going to say, "Oh, thank you for aiding me and healing me. Please, if you could continue to close my wounds, I will gain more power. Before, I was only able to use the mana to attack. Now I'm gaining my magics. And she is going to cast a Divine Decree on Urgathoa's body. She needs to make a 44 Fortitude save, and she rolled a nat 5 and has already got her -4 because of Zavid stealing her shadow for a 36 and a failure. 9d10 spirit damage. Enfeebled 2, 49 damage. And... oh, not that last one. That's on a crit fail. Man, very cool. So Nadiri was able to cast a relatively powerful spell, and then from where she stands, use her last action to begin once more crying tears of pure mana and firing them like a projectile up at Urgathoa. Did that work? It did, and it hit. Fantastic. She uses her weaponized tears, dealing 36 more damage. Again, there's a lot of temporary hit points because of mythic action, you know, that thing. You've chewed through almost all of it, though. End of Nadiri's turn. Veltel, the Banshee, is going to move up towards the left arm here, helping Xander, her true love. Is going to take swipes with her hand. Her sharp Banshee claws. 11 is a hit. My goodness, these are very good rolls. Then that's a little damage. Gets a second attack at a penalty. Nat 14, maybe? Miss. Okay, end of Veltel's turn. The large left arm is going to attempt a sweeping attack upon Veltel and Xander, but I need to make them target first.
Stop.
Rethink your choices.
Target. Yeah, hey, Urgathoa, don't do that. Stop it.
Yeah, have you thought of that? Maybe not.
Ooh, nat 18, nat 16, both crits. Okay.
Every time I fucking talk, this shit happens. I need to stop talking.
Ah! 96 and 82, but a bunch of it was resisted because Veltel and Xander are both ghosts. So Xander takes 65 and Veltel takes 58. That could have been a lot worse.
They're not looking
Lee
good.
Mao,
I gotta go heal
the
them.
skeletal guy, your samurai friend, leaps into the fray and is going to do his best to do a little bit here.
Oh, that's kind of
Nat
cool.
20. That's a crit for Mr. Lee Mao. So let's add... he gets extra bonus damages for critting, which is great. He chewed through the temporary hit points on the left arm. So that is fantastic. End of Lee Mao's turn. Reese, you are finally up, and that's about
where
the end
the
of the
fuck
round.
am
So
I?
Con, you're pretty much on deck.
Where
You're like in
am
the
I?
center of the
You
map
are
and just
right
fine.
under the scythe.
Under the scythe?
You're like under the scythe.
Okay.
You see the curve of
Oh
the
god,
scythe?
there I am. Sorry, the white hair kind of makes it hard. Okay.
Yeah, the white hair in the white mana rapids.
I
Con,
love
you're
how
on deck.
calm your profile picture is for Reese. Just like walking through this fucking mess,
Yeah, it's no big deal.
Especially compared to Con with the raid can.
making all your saves, taking no damage. Like, wow, this is some fight, huh?
Alright, so what am I attacking
Seriously, Reese has
at,
taken
though?
19 damage.
Yeah, only 19.
Also, I'm gonna show this in
That's
Bard's
insane.
Playhouse, but this kind of looks cool in 3D. Like she's coming down and like attacking from above.
Alright, so let's see. So obviously the one hand, the right arm would be probably the easiest thing for Reese to go and try to attack. So what I'm gonna do... I forgot if I already had my wog up. If I'm being honest, I forgot.
Sorry, I was muted. Yes, it's up.
Okay. Let me see. So if I have that, do we know any weaknesses of the body, of her body yet?
Good damage.
good damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just do some good damage, and that'll be enough.
What
Just some good damage.
if
Good old damage.
I try to hit her with ghost touch arrows?
Uh,
those-
that's not really good damage.
Okay.
That
Is
wouldn't
good
do
and
anything
positive
extra.
damage the same thing?
Yeah. Yeah, good and positive damage are the same.
Wait,
Oh.
there's alignment damage, and then,
wait, no,
then
aren't
positive is like holy damage or radiant
That's
damage.
right.
or
Yeah, no, I
whatever.
think they're different. Good and
Okay.
positive
They
are
are
different.
technically. Alignment
Yeah.
damage only affects things that have opposite alignments. So like, it has nothing to do with like void or anything like that.
Alright. It's a real good idea that is now kind of in the dust, but it was a good idea at the time.
Ah, okay.
Sorry.
No, that's alright. That's alright.
Okay, I think what I might do is pull out Shadow Projectile. You create an illusionary duplicate of your ally's ranged attack to confuse your opponents. Launch an illusionary double of your ally's projectile or a spell at the same target, leaving the enemy unsure which one to attack to avoid. The target takes 3d8 mental damage depending on its will save, regardless of the save. It's temporarily immune to shadow projectile spells for 1 hour. Would that do anything?
Interesting. Is that like your 3rd level spell?
Mm-hmm. It's my only one.
Sorry, I wasn't reading along. Let me find it and pull it back up really fast. Shadow projectile. It's a reaction. So, that would be. You would only have to use that when an ally within 20 feet of you makes a ranged attack roll.
Okay.
It's like if someone fired a bow near you.
Okay.
So yeah, you can't use that right now.
Okay, cool. Alright, well now I know how that works. I mean, so you're saying the only thing that can attack is like something like radiant. Regular damage doesn't do anything to her.
Oh, it does. It does damage. It's
Oh,
just
okay.
she's weak to good damage.
Oh, okay.
If you do good damage, she will take extra damage.
Oh, okay. So I think what I'll end up doing then is probably moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't really used my gill hook yet.
Not really. That thing crits on a 19, but yeah, and it is got it's the correct numbers.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna...
Your sword does more damage, but yeah,
Oh,
that one crits on a lower number.
Wait, did you, put my sword up on here?
Final rest.
Okay.
It's 2 above the gill hook.
Oh yeah,
That one does more damage,
damage-wise,
but the gill hook crits on a 19.
yeah. I'm gonna try to hedge my bets and use the gill hook at least. So if I do
Okay,
crit...
go ahead.
Cool.
Was that 16? Okay, it's still a very high roll. It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
50, so you do hit for sure.
Yeah, cool.
50, good God.
Nice.
Lot of damage, but you just chewed through her temporary hit points. You did 10 points of damage
Okay,
into
good.
her arms, so that is good. You've chewed through the temporary hit points on the left and right arm. Great.
Okay, good. And then I'm gonna
You get
do another one at highest. And then
yep
one
at the
at
highest,
lowest.
another one at the highest, because you had your
Ooh.
haste action to move, then flurry for 2 attacks. That's a hit. So you'll still have 2 actions after this.
Oh wow.
Your turns are always the most confusing because you have like flurry and haste and all
Yeah.
that. Another 28 damage.
Alright, and then from there...
So Reese, you come in swimming through this mana, invisible, swinging your sword, slash.
Yeah, stab at this finger, stab at that finger. So then I have 2 more.
2 more actions, yes, but you would be at your lowest if you attacks.
Right, I'm gonna do that just for the sake of it.
You could do like a spell. like telekinetic projectile, and then not take a penalty.
Oh shit, you're right. Yeah, definitely.
Or you could make something your hunted prey.
Actually, I think I'm gonna do that. That's the smart move. I'm gonna make
Hunt
her,
prey?
yeah, hunt prey, and then I'm gonna just have you do that because it always runs smoother.
Wait, yeah, I got it. Target. Precision. Self. I believe. There it is. Yeah.
Okay.
So you have one action left, and you'll probably miss if you attack her, but you're welcome to try.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I can. Let's just see. You know what the bare minimum definitely won't hit.
Lowest
Oh,
chance of a nat 20. There it is. Always the chance for a nat fucking 20.
let's
That's
go.
what
ahead,
we're
roll that.
talking about.
That's what we're talking about, son. Look at all the damage.
That's a lot of damage.
68 all straight through. That's a lot of damage. So, Reese, just describe this turn. You're a whirlwind.
So Reese is kind of like after watching everybody attack, it's just kind of like I need to change it up. I can't just fire arrows at this. I need to hit like directly. That's like how his thinking's going. It's just like okay, you know what? I haven't used a gill hook, so he takes that out, and he gets the first blow. It's like nice. And he's like, all right, the other finger definitely needs one. He gets it right between the fingers and the knuckles. Gets that. He's like, okay, not bad, not bad. And then he kind of like does like a spin. He's like, fuck it, the last one barely ever works. And when he does that, he kind of just like gets at one finger, and then when he turns around, stabs his gill hook right into the other one on the other side of him.
Yeah, and you deal a massive amount of damage to this hand holding this gargantuan scythe the size of this room. You can see yourself carving into
Oh, yeah.
with this sword of the right hand of Iomade, this paladin-like radiant sword, and you deal a healthy amount of damage. End of your turn, top of the round, Khan, you're up.
All right. So there
Top
are
of the
three
morning to ya.
separate health pools that are being tracked. Yes, one for the right arm, one for the left
Yes.
arm, one for the main body.
Correct. And then the Bandersnatch, if you count that. But there's 4 things that you need to kill on the table.
Okay, well, we're laying into this one arm,
Mhm.
so we're gonna
Mhm.
freaking go for it. I'm
We
gonna
can go.
stop targeting the true body and target the right arm.
And you do have Fleet Step, and your wings are out.
Yes. So yeah, Khan, you know, looks Zavid in the eye and gives tries to give a reassuring smile. Flicks some of the magic off of her wings.
Your guns.
And and takes the air.
Have you ever seen a drenched rat sneer at you? That's what I'm saying. I'm like, go for it.
So I'm gonna use the haste action to move. And what are the off-guard rules for a thing this freaking big?
I'm gonna say with Wasilka, Reese, and you there, that's enough to make it off guard. So let me
Okay.
give it that. Bam. I think I gave it off guard. Let me double check. Let's see. Right arm. It's not. Let me try again.
You know, I think off guard's interesting. I feel like it should just always apply for 2 or more things around you. Like when you're big,
I
you probably have
agree.
a lot more hit points, but like
Nope.
the downside
Not
is
too
that
con.
you can't look everywhere at once. Your attention still has to be split
There we
between
go.
your whole surface area.
I totally agree. Yeah, if there is so there's 3 things here. Con, I accidentally gave you off guard, so let me take that off. There you go. So it is now off guard.
Okay. I also want to say that I was searching through my items thinking well, I'll find something that could help. And I have no idea where this came from. The Wand of Overflowing Life? How did that get
I
there?
don't remember.
I have no memory of us getting an item that's this strong.
I
I don't
think
know
I
where we
remember
found it.
something and everyone being like, just in case Khan ever needs to heal, her. And
Yeah,
also, speaking of just in case you ever need to heal, I wanted to remind you all of a Baba Yaga card you have. Remember Frag, FR76?
that pie.
He gives you the pies that'll heal you if you need to pop that card.
I got
All
it.
right.
And anyone can pop that card at any time. Oh, that's right, it's you. You can pop that card at
I
any
can
time,
pop that
Ellie.
card anytime. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Reese is doing fine, so I mean.
Yeah, Reese is fine, so who needs it?
Like over here, like help me! Like walk it off, champ. You're fine.
It's fine. We'll get you later.
Yeah. But I was wondering if Khan could use the Wand of Overflowing Life. Maybe not this turn, but next turn, on Nadiri? That would be something. Who knows?
Ooh,
Sure. Yeah,
it's like a
absolutely.
little
That
juice
feels-
pack. Here you
I'm into
go.
it.
She's like,
Yeah.
thank you. It's a Capri Sun
absolutely, you can
of
do that.
overflowing life.
Yes.
So that's my plan for next turn. This turn is laying into this goddamn hand. Next turn,
Lay
I'm gonna
into it.
flutter over and give her a Capri Sun.
Sounds good.
All right, but we're gonna hurt this skeletal hand like it's never been hurt before.
At 15, that's a hit. Not a crit.
Yeah.
A 50. Good. With
I'm
the
gonna
eye steer.
I remembered my debilitations.
Yes.
I want her to take an extra 2d6 precision damage.
Okay, so go ahead and roll that publicly.
Yeah. Snake eyes.
Snake eyes. So just put a 2 in your modifier and then roll your damage.
Okay. And then, what does Enfeeble do? I can't remember off the top of my head.
Enfeebled reduces their strength-based abilities and skills, so like her attacks and her damage will go down because her strength is reduced.
But yeah, she's
Ooh,
in
you got it
Enfeebled
down
1.
to heavy status. Yes, okay, Enfeebled 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. I can give it that.
Nice.
Enfeebled 1. There we go.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm
So
just
now
gonna
it is
attack after
doing
attack because I've already
less
used my
damage
haste
and less
action.
likely to hit. Great.
Excellent.
Haste, attack. So then you have 2 more actions.
Yeah.
Nat 18. That is a critical.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
I'll do the precision damage. Is it
4?
4d6 for critical? Extra precision damage? Thanks to the
Uh,
debilitation?
I think it'll do it automatically.
Okay.
Oh, the debilitation. Yeah, 46. So do that after, and I'll just add the extra damage. Or no, there we
Okay.
go. Okay, so put 11 in your modifier. This is going to hurt a whole lot. Oh, I don't have music.
Don't worry, I do.
110 damage.
God
Con, it has
damn.
6 hit.
Jesus.
Well, I guess
you
I'm just
can
gonna
hit
have
it,
to
it's
attack
dead.
it again with my last action.
I guess I'll make another attack.
You also
then.
have your free action, your Con's Bladed Blade.
Yeah. I don't think Khan's Bladed Blade is gonna hit. I'm gonna be real with you.
You're not likely to hit with it, yeah, but
Ooh.
No.
Nat 1. Okay. Okay. I believe that's the end of your turn, Con?
You know what? I'll Bladed Blade just for fun.
You could get a
Do
20.
it.
What's the
Hey, you can
harm?
always-
Look,
20.
I got the 20. You could.
You hit! Oh my god! You're gonna take it out with that! It has literally 6 hit points.
That is
So
hilarious.
roll the damage, just make it official.
Yeah.
Holy shit, and that 19
That was
Make
a
it
fucking
official.
hit.
For posterity, we will roll some dice,
Like-
but just know you've won.
Yeah, its AC is 43. There it is, yep, destroyed. So Con, describe this please. How do you want to do this on the right arm?
It's almost like Khan's attacks with Iltistir are severing the spectral ligaments that are holding this gigantic arm together. But she's essentially like you know, she cuts off a finger, she cuts off two fingers, and then she severs it at the wrist. And then I feel like, just for funsies, almost like a boomerang, she throws her bladed blade, and it severs right at the spectral elbow.
Yes.
That's great. Slicing right at the elbow. The bones and the scythe splashes down into the mana. Sploosh! As the bones and the bones sink to the bottom and the spirits dissipate into the air. Well done, Con. With the bladed blade. I love that.
With the bladed blade!
That's
Andy, that's so
amazing.
great. That's the end of your turn there. Okay. That brings it to Urgathoa's true form, her body. Let's see. I wrote a note. Yes. She is going to cast because Zavid, last session you cast Undeath's Blessing because you were thinking of perhaps healing her. Arwen. Urgathoa is going to cast Bind Undead on Arwen as she counts as undead for the next minute. So currently, Arwen, not Ares, Arwen is hostile.
Ooh.
Oh, did I do that on Arwen? I don't remember, but I should take away a
You
focus
did
point.
at the beginning of the combat. Bringing it to Wasilka, she says, "Con, that was incredible. We still got a job to do. Let's go and help them out. Do you think, should we go and help Danny or the other hand?"
Destroy the other hand. I can help Danny.
I got this. And she is going to, let's see, leap. How far over? Oh wait, I'm on the wrong layer.
That would help.
Silka. Yeah, it would help if I picked the right thing. She's going to ghoul leap over to this sarcophagus right up next to the arm. Come on, select. There we go. And is going to flurry of blows upon it with her dark silver short sword she got within Abaddon, if it will let me roll. Natural 12. Hit! Wonderful! Man, everyone is rolling quite well. Very lucky. Not many misses. Ooh, 26 damage, that's good. And since it's a flurry of blows, she gets another. Probably gonna miss. Yeah, that's a miss. Last action. Doesn't have a whole lot. Doesn't have anything in the way of one action spells. Going to... Yeah, just try one more time, I guess, at her lowest.
Yeah, go
Not
ahead.
much reason not to, I suppose.
Anything's possible.
Well, anything's possible, like killing the arm with the bladed blade attack. Natural 19! That's a hit, holy shit! Same exact
You see?
thing!
You gotta believe, man.
Anything's possible.
Gotta have faith. 22
Yeah.
damage from Wasilka. Great.
Let's go.
Now it is up to the Magic Bane Bandersnatch. Oh, it is not liking this because it is covered in squirrels. They have been chewing its flesh off, and it is no longer focused on you, Zavid. It is going to be attacking Ares with its first attack. Nat 14. That's a hit on Ares. But then
Oof.
these 48 damage to Ares. But then all of these squirrels are swarming around it. It's going to start
Squirming.
scratching at them
around.
with its claws. That's
It's getting
squirreling
squirrely.
around. It hits them with its claws. It takes out one of your squirrel swarms, Zavid. And then with the last one, it is going to hit its tail at the other squirrel swarm. Natural 6. That's a miss. Okay. Well, it took out one squirrel swarm, but the Magic Bane Bandersnatch is not looking good. It is bleeding out of many wounds, still covered in squirrels. Ares is biting at it. Danny is still up. I think she could probably heal Nadiri.
I never anticipated that. So the Bandersnatch has been the bane of my existence ever since it was introduced. And the squirrels were like,
Yeah.
definitely an Eli thing. Like, you should use this.
joke.
This would be so fun. And I was like, all
Just
right, you know, it's kind of like
imagine.
whatever. I never thought that they'd show up and be like the single best thing that I ever summoned because they're like destroying this motherfucker, and I love them for it.
They're doing some work. Danny's going to once again lay hands and soothe Nadiri for 54 and 75 hit points.
Oh,
Let's see,
Let's
where does
go.
that bring her? Where does that bring her? Oh, that's almost full. She has 48 wounds. So you have brought her above 300, so it has unlocked another ability. So it has been worth it, but that's the end of Danny's turn. Oh, but it's Arwen. Arwen being controlled by Urgathoa sees Xander right there next to her. So he is the closest target. So she is going to bite down into this ghost man. Natural 4, that's a miss. Fantastico. Arwen only gets one action. Ares only gets one action. He's going to bite down into this Bandersnatch. Nat 10, maybe? Miss. Okay, end of Ares' turn. Layer action. Yes, fun times. Okay, so I want one of you to decide, or one of you to roll a D100. Any of you can do it. I don't care who.
I've been getting good rolls, so let's
Yeah. Hell yeah. Do it.
tempt fate.
And then Con, roll a D6 publicly.
Okay.
58, huh?
Yeah.
Ignore re-roll on a 6.
It's a 1.
Ooh, a 1. That's Con. So what happens? 58.
Oh god, I don't like that.
Okay.
I don't like when DM goes,
Oh my.
ooh.
Ooh.
That sounds like it's
Interesting.
illegal. Shouldn't happen.
Interesting. Okay. This is a very interesting moment for this to happen. A monadic deva, a being of pure law, appears in front of you, and you may ask it one question regarding law or
Sapphire.
chaos. Yeah, it's the same image as Sapphire, but a monadic Sapphire appears in front of you, and you may ask it in this moment one question regarding law or chaos.
a Movonic Deva, I believe.
Monadic.
Monadic.
It might be a different one. I might have changed the art. I don't recall.
I don't know. I know that you can summon one of those types of devas in this video game I've been playing. It's called Pathfinder: Wrath of the Righteous. It's pretty poggers.
That King Wrath of the Righteous.
Anyway, Sapphire shows up to visit us one last time.
Love to
My
see
mind
it.
is blanking.
What are we asking them?
Regarding
Let's
order
go.
or chaos. One question regarding order or
A question
chaos.
about order or chaos. Law or chaos. Or order
Ooh,
or
I have
chaos.
one.
Oh.
What
Yeah,
will
you can work
happen to the domain of undeath if Urgathoa is removed?
Yeah, actually.
Will it become orderly or chaotic?
Yeah, because, kind of have a lot of stuff on her now.
Give me a straight answer, Sapphire. Enough of your rock riddles.
All right. Then, if you ask this, Sapphire says, removal of the Pallid Princess will remove all order from any mindless undead. They will wander the earth without a purpose, without a cause. There must always be a controller. There must always be an undead ruler. Whether it is one or many, whether it is a single deity or a concept, there must be a jailer of the undead. Sapphire disappears.
Reese, you already knew all this.
Yep.
You're just nodding
True.
like you could have asked me that, bro. You didn't have to ask this angel.
Right? Well, at least you got the confirmation, but okay, go for it. Cool.
You're like, you don't trust me? You
I
don't take
literally
me
have all
seriously?
of
Let's see. Okay, yes, there we go. She's no longer targeting Zvi. She sees the Bandersnatch, and says, "Well, we have no time for this foolishness." And she's going to attempt to cast Finger of Death. If the target is reduced to 0 hit points, it dies instantly. So, Fortitude save DC 36.
Wait, on who?
On the Bandersnatch.
Oh,
38.
thank God. I was like, is someone gonna fucking
So it
power
does-
word kill me right now? What's happening?
No. So it did 30. She did 35 damage because it saved. Let's see, how many hit points does it have left? It's got to be close to dead. Yeah, it has 32 hit points left. It's close to death. So she is going to move away. 9. End of her turn. Xander is going to go for broke on the arm here because he knows that's his one chance. Nat 20! He criticals the arm. Great. Good time for this. Dealing 61 damage. Gonna go for broke. Nat 15 is another hit. Not a crit, but good. Laying in some damage. And I just realized that that arm should be off guard. Then... Come on, give it off guard.
It's a critical hit. A
Oh,
quit.
there we go. Okay. A quit. Then lastly,
quit.
I'm just going to have him try for the third hit. Now 13, that's not going to do it. This is a miss. Zavid, you are up.
That's me. All right. Oh, hello. Stay on your
Swarms
horse,
is
man.
dead. I'll take that off the map.
I'm gonna take a risk. I tell Veltel to clear out of here. Stop fighting and get out. All right, because I'm not about to heal you right now. I'm about to use Rot Trot to get in close. I think I can get about here. And I want to look at Urgathoa, and I want to use. You said we could use our haste actions in fun ways for this fight.
Sure. Yeah.
This is just what I recall. So I'm gonna cast.
No, I did say that. I listened to it this morning.
I'm going to cast Rip the Spirit twice as 2 actions at 7th level.
Cool.
I am gonna rip her apart. I need her to make a Fortitude save twice.
And she's already in drained 4 from you stealing her shadow. So she's already at a -4. Do you have a lucky get left?
2d6. So 14d6. Lucky get. I want to save that for the there's no shadow for this anymore. I already took her shadow.
Nope.
Yeah.
You already took it.
I have 1 focus point. I could use lucky get. I want to save it. I want to save it in case I need it. I don't want to use it up right now.
Okay. Okay. So it's a
basic
Fortitude
fort save. Yep.
All right. Hand off the chess piece. Look, I'm sharing it. Nat 3 for a 32. That's a fail.
Okay.
Not a critical failure, but it's a failure.
Okay, here's 1 Rip the Spirit, which
that's a lot of
is... Yes.
52 damage.
It's a void damage targeting her ethereal form. And then I'm going to do that shit a second time. So another fort save, please.
Okay.
I want to deal damage.
That one's a natural 15, which is a success, but not a critical success. So she'll take half of whatever you roll. So roll it in the chat, not on her.
All right, so 30. So 52 and 30. So
Okay,
82.
So another 30? Okay.
82 total void damage this turn as I'm using targeted spells to blast apart her ethereal spirit and destroy her essence once and for all. And that's the whole turn. I'm
You
just
have
dealing
broken through the temporary hit points and have dealt damage. Yes.
Oh. Oh, okay. I didn't realize she had all those temporary. Oh, cool. All right. Well, that's good. We could actually
Gotta
like
eat
affect
through
her
You had a
now.
lot of temp hit points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had
All
a
right,
lot of
well,
temporary hit points.
I feel good about
and now
dealing
she has
damage
none.
for once.
You
Yeah.
dealt a ton of damage.
I
Okay,
saved these
Rot
spells
Trot.
specifically
Also
for that
have-
moment, and now you guys finish her off. I did
Yep.
my part.
You ripped apart the ethereal shield that's been absorbing all of these blows off of her, and you can see she's weak. It is the Squirrel's turn. The Bandersnatch rolled a 32, so it. Oh, this might do. This might do it. I think
That'd
your
be fun.
Fingers crossed.
Squirrels are going to take out
squirrels.
the Bandersnatch. Yep, 56 damage on 32 hit points.
Let's
So the
go.
Squirrels and Ares finally they swarm this thing and they start biting their way into its wounds, into its body, and they begin eating it from the inside out, and it falls apart into a husk of meat. Gross. End of your turn. Rotrot is done. Nadiri, yes, she is now significantly more healed. So she's going to say, "Thank you all. Please, we must take her out. Let us do this. But please, do not listen." As she cups her hands over her mouth and begins to hit a high note aimed directly at the face of Urgathoa as she casts a 10th level fatal aria.
I imagine it's like the most beautiful opera, like
The
just
most
like
beautiful
going
high
higher.
C, like in Phantom of the Opera.
Yes. So let's see, I need to have Urgathoa
High C.
roll.
So she had a
a
Caprice on one hand and a high C
save.
in the other.
Exactly.
She rolled in that one. 28.
Uh,
Oh my god, this is going to do so much damage. Holy crap.
This is going to be really cool, and I'm so excited for it. On a side note, very dumb little tangent. Now it is in my head that Nadiri is like a fan of like sweet drinks like Tang and just like citrusy things. So she likes Capri Sun, she likes High C, she likes Tang, she likes all those types of like
There's a
oranges.
weakness
So if you want to,
cherry limeade though.
you love sweet little drinks.
Uh-huh.
So that's my new canon for her in my head is that she's a sucker for that. Anyway, killer.
That's great. Well, it did not bring Urgathoa to 0 hit points, but it does an automatic 150 points of damage. So that's a lot of wounds. So she's bloodied, actually. With this sound of this beautiful, from where you're standing, high note, this vibrating, resonant sound. You can see the bones are shaking as she's reeling left and right as their cracks begin to form in this skeleton. Good lord, that was a lot of damage. But she still is able to get in a ranged attack as well. Let's see, where's Nadiri? There she is.
I'm just like, she dealt more damage than me. That's not fair. It's like she's a god.
Right? Like
She's a
calm
literal
down.
goddess. She hits with her tears, dealing 38 more damage. End of Nadiri's turn. Veltel, you said she needs to get out of here?
Beltel's low on health, and I can't heal her right now because I'm busy.
Very.
I mean, I might next turn, but a whole
All right.
round might go, and that hand might hit her. I want her to get out of danger. I want her to hide temporarily so we can heal her later.
She has a 60-foot fly speed, so she will fly not only... Come on, select Veltel. There we go. She'll fly completely across the map, and she will phase into this pillar right here. Because
Nice.
she is a banshee, and she can do that. So she is no longer corporeal, she's on the ethereal plane. End of her turn. It is the arm's turn. It's no longer targeting Veltel, because she's not there. But it is going to target Wasilka the Gastastic. Melee Hand of Death. Ooh, that was almost a nat 20. It ran right over it. It's a regular hit.
Don't.
Wasilka
Leave
takes 45 damage.
Wasilka.
Second attack.
Keep her name out your damn mouth.
11 is a hit, but again, not a crit. Bunch of damage. 45
Silka,
on
get
the
out of
Silka.
there!
She's looking
Silka!
bad, but that's the end of
Fuck,
her turn.
man.
You're too
Leaky
gastastic
Mao is
to
going
die.
To try and get
Again.
his attention. She is gastastic. Again, yes. Is he targeting? He's not. Oh, he was targeting her. Great. So Li Mao hits with his katana for a 44, dealing 2 6s in there, 30 damage. Get another one, see if he can hit. That's probably not going to do it. -8, yeah, not going to do it. And he's going to try to climb up out of the mana because it's starting to fill up where he's at. So he's going to climb up this tower of bones. He has a climb speed, so he's going to climb up this tower of bones on the ossuary. Switching out his sword for his long bow, so next turn he'll have his bow out. Reese, you are up, then Con, you're on deck.
Okay. So, Reese is kind of looking at it, weighing his options. Like, alright, what can I attack left? Because there is the left arm, which is on its way out. But her true form in general is kind of bunk. So, I think he's just gonna go toward... Wait, is Arwen the one that's taken over by Urgathoa?
Yes, Arwen is currently taken over by Urgathoa because she had Undeath's Blessing, Zavid's spell.
Right.
But she's also extremely low on hit points, so you could probably knock Arwen out with a non-lethal attack or something if you needed to.
Yeah, I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna head over to Arwen and just kind of like do an unarmed strike on her.
Sure. You can go ahead and roll that. I think you have an armed strike,
I
right?
do.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's more than enough. You don't even need to roll damage. She has 10 hit points. We can just put her as unconscious, but not dead
Yeah,
or like
God,
dying
yeah.
or anything. Yeah. So Arwen, we're just gonna say you just knocked her out, like put her in a chokehold or hit her in the back of the head with a pipe. Not
Come
a pipe,
on.
but like a sock with pennies in it. Yeah. So
You do a
Arwen is no
knockout
longer.
punch.
Arwen is now. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Arwen is now back to friendly, but she is unconscious.
Okay.
Okay, so that's 2 actions, or at least your haste and an action.
Yep, hasten in action, and then I'm gonna go and use my final rest on the hand.
Wonderful. And you can flurry, so you can do it twice.
Yep. I'm gonna just,
That's a crit. Nice.
you know,
So roll the damage first on that.
yeah. Yep.
Just casually walk up and crit, So let's see that damage. 32 damage
Not bad, not
from
bad.
just the sword. And you get another one to your max.
7.
That 7
Still
is still a
hits.
hit. Good God. Heroism helps so much. Heroism is doing
Yeah.
so much lifting in this fight.
34.
Another 34 damage.
Okay.
Starting to look pretty bad.
Alright, and then if I hit again, it would be at my lowest.
That's right, yeah.
Let me see. I think what I might do is to... Nope, that's damage. As a reaction. Let's see. Just taking a look. Yeah, yep.
In a book.
Yep. Reading Rainbow. I think what I'm going to do is warp step my way over to like where Danny is. So you just go
Sure.
nope.
That'll be a good use of that last action. Yep.
Yep.
Just
and
kind of
that's-
step through the shadows over to there.
Yep.
Great. That's your turn, I believe. Okay, end of the round. At the top, it's Khan. You're up.
All right.
No more temporary hit points. All of it's been chewed through. Both the left arm and the body are bloodied. What do you do, Khan?
I mean, I feel like it's narratively more dramatic if we leave the main body for last.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true.
That's very true.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna go over there and beat it up.
Nice.
Come on. Put them up. Put up your dukes. Or your
Put up
duke.
your dukes.
Your one
I
duke.
got fucking no dukes. You're one duke.
Put up your single
your
duke.
duke.
Let's go. You're like shadow boxing
Put
on
up
your
your
way
Dutch
over to the
duchess.
R.
Actually, where was I? I was like right around here, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Around
Yeah.
there. Yeah,
I'm gonna-
somewhere in there.
2 move actions to close distance.
Okay,
So
one
hasted
can be your
action
haste.
and regular action. And then I'm just gonna make attacks. 2 attacks.
Wonderful. Let's see it. It should still be off guard, I believe.
You know what? I'll
Yeah,
hero
forwards
point
and
it.
Yes. All right. That 14 is a hit. There you go. Good use of a hero point. And it is off guard, so you should be getting your sneak attack here.
Fantastic.
$44. It's looking pretty bad.
And I'm gonna debilitations, enfeebled 1 and extra precision
Oh, yeah.
damage, so I'm gonna roll extra 2d6.
Great. Roll the damage. I will give it enfeebled. Another 10. Oh, it is so close. There you go. I've given that extra damage. It's so close.
Alright.
One more hit would probably do it. 12.
12
It's a hit.
hits.
Hell yeah.
That'll do it. How do you destroy this arm? You got the first one.
Instead of just slicing off individual fingers, she like slices clean through the collection of wrist bones and just severs that hand.
Hell yeah.
Falls to the ground. The bones rattle and break and sploosh into the mana as this spirit lifts away. All that is left is the screeching skeletal torso and skull of Urgathoa. Do you have any actions left, or is that it?
I would just have Khan's bladed blade. So her turn's done.
Okay, there's nothing to attack. Got it.
Yeah.
But that brings it to the true form. Yes, let's see here.
Yes.
Yes. What do I want to do? I don't have a lot of options, but that's a good one, I guess. Yeah, I know it feels like I'm picking on you, Khan, but I mean, come
go
on.
for it. Why did
You've
my
kind
camera go away?
legitimately. Yeah, that was weird. But
Urgathoa?
Urgathoa looks to you, and you see her eyes begin to glow a dark black blue as she casts a 10th level harm on you. So I'm making you roll a fortitude save. You failed, but not critically.
Can I
Want to hero
use,
point?
Foresight?
Foresight.
You have foresight. That's right. I will make you roll it again.
Heroism and foresight have been doing some work. Nope. Just
Well,
kidding.
We
that was
tried.
worse,
We can't
but
say
they're
we didn't
both a
try.
failure. You tried.
Yeah.
So
Foresight
you take
as a
10d8
static bonus has
void
been good.
damage.
The ability has not helped so much.
Yeah.
The reaction.
Yeah, the reaction hasn't helped at all, but the static ability has helped a ton. So, Khan, I just gave it to you. You take 64 damage, as this feels familiar but different, because Zavita's cast harm into you countless times, but it's never actually caused damage. But that's the end of her turn. Wasilka is up. She says, That was amazing, Khan. We're so close. Let's do this. You can finish this. I know it. She's gonna ghoul leap.
Come over here.
Yeah.
Touch
Or not.
Wasilka.
I'll let her do what she wants. She's gonna do what she
Ooh.
wants.
Ghoul Leap here, and she's. Oh wait, you said come over here to. Oh God, she's so low on health.
She doesn't
I
have
see what
to.
you
She
said,
does.
yes.
She can do what
will
she
leap over to
wants.
you, Zavid.
Yeah.
Just say,
If she had a
I
plan,
need to
she
back
could
out.
do it.
No,
Yeah.
you're right. She has 27 hit points.
She grabs onto Rot Trot
So
after
she'll
doing like an acrobatic maneuver,
Mhm.
grabbing like a chandelier that's like hanging off a
leaps
single
over.
chain and doing like a yeah.
Lands on the back of Rot Trot.
I'm gonna have to heal you and Veltel.
There we
And
go.
maybe that ghost buddy
Uh-huh.
of ours. Xander, if you can.
Perhaps. Zenda. Let's see.
Actually, his
She
turn's right
can
before mine.
Throw
He
her
can-
juggling club. Yeah, she's gonna try and flurry her juggling club up at Urgathoa because why not? She
That's
can.
funny.
That's a critical miss. And another critical miss. Yeah, that checks out. It was a juggling club.
We're kind of far away
Bandersnatch
too.
is dead. Danny.
High up and far.
Yep. Danny's up. Do you think she should heal up Nadiri to full or magic missile it?
I want to see
Urgathoa?
what
What do you
happens
think
when
Danny
we
would
get
do in this
Nadiri to
moment, y'all?
full health.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
bet something happens when we get her
Okay.
to full health.
I'm
And
here
if
for
nothing
it.
happens, that's okay.
We get
I
the
don't want
best
to put
loot
pressure
drop.
on you. But I also think, I suspect something might happen.
Alright. So
Like a
one
little
more 7th
claws.
level soothe into Nadiri. Does that do it? That does it. That brings her to full health.
Healthy.
Yes. So that gives Nadiri a legendary action. She says, "My wounds are healed. My tears cease. The flowing has stopped." And you see that the floodwaters, the mana does recede. But in addition, she gets a single casting of a spell I should have had ready. Sorry.
How dare you?
Fine.
Can't believe you don't have this
I
up
know,
here
right?
already.
10th level. There it is. Yes. She is going to say, "Thank you all. Now here, take my power," as she casts invincibility on all of you.
Whoa.
So all of you, or
Whoa.
indestructibility on the entire party. Everyone is immune to damage for
Let's
1 round.
Fucking go.
Pretty good.
So you have 1 round of invulnerability. Ares
Will
is
you
just going to. Yep. Ares is just
If you
going
had
to
one
book it,
chance, would you capture it? Or would you just let it slip?
or just let it slip. Ares does not have enough movement to get all the way across.
Okay.
Arwen is probably going to hide.
Unconscious?
She's got 14 hit points.
Oh, isn't she unconscious?
Oh yeah, she's unconscious. That's right. That's right.
So she's just laying on the
Yeah,
steps.
that's right. That's right. I
Which
forgot.
maybe
Yep,
maybe
she's
the
just laying on
the
the
mana
steps.
might have carried her somewhere because she was floating on in the mana, right? So like when it receded,
Oh,
she could have been taken.
Yeah. I like that. Arwen was carried by the receding mana to this little hallway entrance, but not taken away. I like that. Okay, Yang Guifei. She can't really help from this distance, but she's going to run up to here. Does she
Yang
have-
Wei came out to
targets?
play.
She came to play. What's that distance? 100? Yeah, that's not enough. Okay, end of her turn. Xander, again, he's going to have to just hoof it over there. So run. He can get 1 attack in, actually. Just enough. So Warhammer. Oh, it was almost a nat 20. Natural 8 for a miss. Zavid, you're up.
All right. I can see clearly now that she's not
The ring is
gone. I have more Rip the Spirits at 5th level, but I could just keep on fucking going. I could also do my harms. I think my harms are.
That would heal her.
Dangerous Sorcery should have been
Heal.
adding damage. I just realized. I should have added 7 damage to each of those. So it should be 14 damage.
Okay, so another 14.
Yeah, sorry.
So, okay.
I think I've been, ever since I had that feat, I think I've only ever applied it to my harms and not to my other damaging spells. I like just had a brain blast. Like, wait a minute, I have a feat that adds damage to all the shit. Wow.
Using a harm on her would heal her, but if you could use your once per day Gork and Mork heal, that would hurt her.
Yeah. How's her arm looking? I don't want to get the final blow on.
The arms are dead. They're just graphically there.
Oh, okay. Oh, I do kind of want to kill her. I've never killed anything before. Everyone else always gets the last hit. It doesn't look great, but it's not close to death yet. I have the staff.
She's pretty close.
I have the staff on me.
You have the staff.
Can I use one of the shadows to upcast a spell really high, right? Like, how high can I do that?
Sure.
What's the
shadow
limit?
you use. You can. Well, I mean, strictly it's up to 10th, but you can't use 10th level spells yet. But I would say if you burn one of the higher level shadows, then I would say you could upcast something to 10th level.
Urgathoa's right hand. What was her name?
Minister Yukiko.
Yukiko. It'd be really funny to use her shadow to kill her. So I'm going to use Yukiko's shadow.
Great.
Oh, yeah.
To funnel into I rip the spirit at what, 9th level?
Yeah.
Okay. 9th level is going to add another 2 levels, so that'd be 18d6. I need a fortitude save, and I am going to use Gork and Mork as a reaction to Lucky Get That. So disadvantage on this fortitude save.
Great.
And it's going to be 18d6 plus 9 for Dangerous Sorcery. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I've never rolled this many dice.
Okay, how many dice are you rolling?
18.
18, good God.
What's her fort?
Right.
What's her fort?
It is a 41, which is a success, but not a critical success.
Even at disadvantage, huh? Even with drained 4,
yeah,
huh?
I rolled higher.
Okay. All right.
Even with drained 4.
God damn.
81.
That's 2 actions, just FYI. I have my other action and a haste action, which we've said we're doing funny shit with. So,
yep. Go ahead.
Gork and Mork heal. 2 action. And the Dangerous Sorcery applies to that as well because it's a harm effect.
Did you apply Dangerous Sorcery to that last one?
I did. Let's see.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and do the heal one.
Yeah, 56 positive damage. Let me have this. Let me have this
Weird
one.
boy of Gork and Mork. How do you want to do this?
Yes, let's go, Savine!
I got one. All right.
The coolest one.
You got one.
This wouldn't really matter.
This is all you, man.
All right.
This one's all you. How do you want to do this?
David looks at this shimmering skeletal form, and I think the skeletal form was meant to strike fear in us. I think she's starting to lose her sort of concentration. It starts to recede, and like flesh begins to appear over the face, and her face begins to appear as normal, like the actual face of Urgathoa, as she's just looking at us in rage, but astonishment and fear for the first time in a long time of what this means. Ripping the spirit away, chunk after chunk, as she's shrinking down. She's made herself really big, but really she's supposed to be like Nadiria's size. So she's like getting kind of smaller as like parts of her essence are being blasted away. People are doing all these different attacks and shredding up this, like making it unstable. So she's like losing more and more of her spirit. This big bolstered form as she's shrinking back down and looking more like herself. Does she say anything as during this turn? Like, does she have last words as she realizes what's going to happen? Does she plead? Does she do anything?
She's raging, going, "No! No! You cannot stop us! We cannot ever stop! This world must end! It must be mine!" But as she's falling apart, the spirits escape from her. The bones crash to the ground. And the scythe of souls that had fallen to the ground from when Khan severed the arm, the main body begins to fall forward as it lands chest first into the pick of the scythe, lodging it into her chest. As she reels and falls forward, the body, this massive, titanic goddess, begins to shrink, and as we'd said, flesh begins to form back on her face, healing and reforming into, as she's shrinking into the form of an elf. And I have an art here. Sorry, I was so engrossed with what Shane was saying.
So during this opening, as she's starting to weaken, I blast her with that last heal, and all of this facade of goddess of undeath blasts off of her until she's left to her barest form, which is like you're describing as like this elf. I imagine we can maybe have a short dialogue before she like is dead, if you want. Like where she's just like the scythe is stuck through her chest. She's just wheezing and just like it's over for her. So she's got like a few moments.
Zavid, here. I have this art, actually.
Oh my god.
And if you go over to where Danny is, you can see her on the map. Yes, this beautiful blonde elf lay before you with a small hand sickle sticking out of her chest, blood leaking down. She looks up to all of you and says, How are you able to do this? Was it my sister's doing?
I have an idea. I look over to Reese. I say, Reese, I've had a theory, and you know of some things that she knew. Yep. I think we can split her essence up amongst ourselves right now.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have to get a little weird.
Weird should probably be my middle name at this point.
Urgathoa, I look to her and I say, you've betrayed this universe. You've given everything up for a new one and you have failed. What happens next, you cannot be upset about. You brought this on yourself. I grab her arm and I eat of her flesh. Forever. I just rip her flesh. And I look to Khan, I say, would you like some blood?
Sure.
The shock is probably a lot. I'm like, just drink the blood, trust me.
Yeah, okay.
Danny, I look to and I say, you can consume her spirit. And you, I think you should take the bone. There's like, basically we're kind of like cannibalizing this god. It's very fucking profane and awful.
Yeah.
You don't have to take part, but here's the idea. We split the concept of death into 4 aspects. The only way to do that is to, we missed a shot when we had the shadow. We could have, I guess when I stole the shadow could have become a god then. I don't think we're going to become gods right away, but this is the start. I think if we consume her essence, we then, the undead won't be masterless. We might not be full-blown gods, like we're not like immortal and stuff, but the undead have masters. So they're not just wild, bestial like creatures that can't do anything. We basically become regents of undeath until such a time as we can ascend. That's what I believe will happen.
So what does Reese have to
And
consume?
Reese,
I think you should take the
you
aspect
would
of
know
bone.
because you absorbed. Yes.
Sorry.
But
Go
Reese,
ahead.
you would know because you absorbed all of the knowledge of undeath that before Urgathoa redesigned undeath, there was these 4 foundational aspects. It's a long-held secret that not many know of. So you would know immediately that
What
this would be
Savita's going
fundamentally
to do.
changing the way it works. And you would know what he's talking about, yeah.
Yeah. All right. That makes the most sense.
Yeah, I it's like very off-putting. I feel like in this moment, I think if this had happened 5 levels ago, this would have been
Even
terrible.
5 minutes ago.
I think the fact that Reese has knowledge of undeath and knows exactly what I'm doing. Khan is at this
Khan
point
is
just
trusting
going
Zavid.
with the
Zavid has
flow.
so rarely been wrong about these things. Zavid has
Danny's
made so
a-
many squirrely plans. You should
That's
trust him
true.
completely.
Danny is a vampire now and a daywalker at that, and everything that we've done, she's gotten more and more power, and I'm like a consumer spirit. I feel like she's like, cool. I think we're at this stage. It's like this is gonna work.
We've hit fuck
It's good.
it.
Yeah. And
So,
so
Reese,
she
what do you do to
laying there
absorb
as
the
we're
power
like,
of
could
gold?
Wait, what were you saying, Shane?
what do you do to consume the power of bone first? What he said.
First, I think what he's going to do is get some bone and, like, almost mortar and pestle, grind it up. And when it's like like almost like a bone powder.
This is her dying moments. So it's easy for blood and flesh. It's a little harder for spirit, but Danny's got magic that works on spirit stuff, so she's probably fine.
No, I've got things.
Reese
I've got a
is
thing for Danny.
strong.
Okay,
Reese is strong.
that's
Reese is
true.
very strong.
So
So
he can literally take the bone, go boom, boom, make some fine powder of it, and he's gonna like snort it.
so we so let me retcon how this happens. Okay, she's sitting here, she's dying. My sister, did she do this? And we sort of conspiratorially like whisper amongst each other, and I say, you brought this on yourself. You've turned your back on the universe. You have no right to complain about what happens next. I think we're gonna take her arm off first.
Yes, there you go.
And I think at that point she doesn't even cry out in pain. She just so it's come to this. Like she realizes exactly what we're doing. And then so the shock of me biting into it, there's
so much worse and deserve so much worse.
yeah, and then I give you the bone from the arm that you can quickly kind of mash up to something that's like edible that you can quickly and we partake of the blood of Christ. We consume the flesh of this god, dying god, in her last moments. And I'll say,
Danny
sorry.
steps up, stands. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I think we
No.
have
What does Danny do? What does Danny do?
You go ahead and do your thing, and I'll have Danny go last.
Okay,
You do your thing, and I'll have Danny go last.
as like the life is ebbing, it's taking a minute because gods are strong, and like she's over death's door. It's sort of like you died 5 minutes ago, sort of situated. Like she's on her way out, but like there's no reason to do a finishing blow right here because like we're already kind of doing it. But I'll say after I've like consumed of her rancid, fucking foul tasting flesh, I imagine. Even in this form, she probably still tastes like that undeath aspect. I'll look to her and I say, for what it's worth, I always thought you were a pretty cool goddess. You had style. And taking undeath the way you did took ambition. So, don't worry. Your domain will be in good hands.
Danny says, "Oh, fuck this bitch." And she grabs the sickle and yanks it out of her chest and says, You were never going to be as cool as your sister. Mom was always the coolest one." And with that, Urgathoa's eyes roll back into her head as her hands go limp and Danny absorbs her final essence.
She is like
Hell
a.
yeah.
Does Urgathoa have like any expression on her face as she dies?
Disappointment and sadness. But Danny gets a new item. It is
Sickle.
I have an image of it. It is a small hand sickle, and I want Zavid to roll a religion check.
I will, and I have a request, and I know we've already killed the god, and we're doing so
Yeah.
much already, but I have I want to make Memento Mori into a scythe. Is that cool? Is that a cool thing to do?
That's very cool.
That is
I want to
incredible.
make out.
Graft,
But I want to
graft
show you
the-
what Danny gets.
I want a scythe.
Yeah, just graft it
Dan?
on. Graft it on.
Right.
All right, let me
Zavid
do religion.
44.
Probably should have done that in the tower, but
Yeah, 44, perfect. You hit it bang on. You realize what this must be. This sickle that Danny has pulled out of her chest looks just like a somewhat ornamental sickle for harvesting wheat. You can see it's got pits in it, so it's seen a lot of use. This was clearly Urgathoa's personal sickle in life. But when she became the goddess, it became corrupt and grew in length to match her evil wickedness. But this is the true weapon of Urgathoa, the actual weapon of Urgathoa. It's called Sister's Envy, and it is technically a lion scythe, which is a finesse weapon because Danny uses dex. But it's pretty sweet. It's got a bloodthirsty rune, and an anchoring rune, and an envious rune. So it does extra mental damage to non-mindless creatures. It stops creatures from being able to teleport away, and when you critically hit, it adds. If something is taking persistent bleed damage, they become drained. But Danny asked me to design her a new weapon for her Magus dedication she took, so this is what she gets: Urgathoa's scythe.
Fuck yeah.
Or at least the one she had in life. In addition, all of you having absorbed an aspect of undeath, each gain your domain spell.
Hell
Yay!
Yay!
Woohoo! Let's go.
So, I will link them in chat here. Con, as the ambition domain, you have gained access to the Ignite Ambition spell. All of these are focus spells, by the way. So just like your
Okay.
wogs and other stuff. Ignite Ambition it's a reaction whenever you or an ally in range attempt to use a mental effect to convince a creature to do something like a coerce or a quest or a suggestion spell. You can cast this spell to basically reduce its roll, make it more likely to help. So like if Reese is trying to or if Zavid is trying to roll a diplomacy check, you can be like, here, and like help him from a distance. Be
Gotcha.
like,
Cool.
make his ambition better from a distance. Danny receives the Protector's Sacrifice spell, which what is that? Whenever an ally within 30 feet takes damage, she can use her reaction to reduce the damage by 3 per spell level, so 27 damage. She can reduce spell damage by 27, or any damage by 27 with a reaction. Reese, having taken the Truth domain, you gain access to the Word of Truth spell, which whenever you cast this, the image of your god appears above your head, and anyone who sees you can hear and hears your statements know that you believe them to be true. So it's a really good way to convince people that you are telling them the truth, or at least you believe you're telling them the truth.
They just see a
So it's a good way to spread
floating
word
above his
of
head.
things.
That's hilarious.
That signifies that you're telling the truth, yes.
Yes.
And then Zavid, having taken the Freedom domain, you gain access to the Unimpeded Stride spell, which for an action Divine grace ensure that nothing can keep you prisoner or hold you back. You immediately escape from every magical effect that has you immobilized or grabbed, unless the effect is of a higher rank than your unimpeded stride spell. You also then stride. And during that movement, you ignore difficult terrain and circumstance penalties to your speed.
So only magical effects, huh?
I mean, I would say probably non-magical as well.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, all right. Because like this wouldn't help against the Bandersnatch the way it's written, which is like the one thing I really want is to never be grappled again.
Right. No, I would say
So,
it would work
From
with
every
grapples as
effect,
well.
if you just let it be any effect that has me immobilized or grabbed, then I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with that.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that. Bandersnatch is dead though. Your
That's
squirrel's
true.
dead.
But I'm sure it's not the only one of its kind. Anyone who studies this battle in years to come will be like, I know how to fuck up Zavid.
Because this battle's going to go down in myths. This will be told by bards for millennia. Guaranteed.
Oh, let's
Nadir,
go.
yeah, Nadiri
yeah.
like witnessed the whole thing and might have just witnessed us like early apothogenesis,
Yeah.
Apotheosis.
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 The word I also coined was deamorphosis.
Yeah. See, and fucking Reese
But-
literally just has all the knowledge of undead.
That's true. What do you say about that, Reese? Because I don't think Zavid knows that you did that because you were invisible when you did that.
Yeah.
What do you all do in this moment? There's finally a moment of calm. Urgathoa is truly dead. Congratulations, I forgot to say. We're out of initiative. You all took an absolute fucking beating. But well done. You've defeated a god.
Yeah.
I look to
think it's really something
Nadiri and
that-
I say, "Sorry that we had to eat her like that. We have a plan. It's all part of a plan." I like
Yeah.
lean against this pillar.
Speaking of plan,
That was quite a sight.
hey Savid,
Uh,
I kind of did something that I think you'll be proud of me for.
oh, wait a second. Hold up. And I like run across the room before the minute's up. And I'm gonna heal Arwen.
Okay, good idea, good idea.
Heck yeah, good call.
In fact, I'd like to call over with Silka and Xander and Veltel to follow me as I
yes.
run up to Arwen. I want to get all my harms out and just I'm not gonna roll any dice. We can just expedite it, but I want to like bring them up to full with harms so that they're all good.
Sure, you can do that.
And
Because
then I run
they
back.
all got very close to death.
Yeah, I'll run back to Reese and like
You might.
sit down. I think
Yeah,
I
I-
could heal
I-
myself that way too.
I'm glad he's just like, oh god, I'm so glad you're sitting down. There's a reason why she kind of bolted. I stole all of her lore knowledge of undeath. I know everything. Anything you want to know, I can tell you. I will write anything down for the next until we sleep. I have every single thing she knows.
I was wondering why you were so cool about eating her bones. Like you didn't even argue.
No?
I was like, "Hey, would you like to eat her bones?" And you had a mortar and pestle out already.
Ready.
Like you knew
Yeah.
what was going on. That's so. This is great. Okay, well, would you
Yeah.
like to explain to Khan, who looks very curious and worried about the fact that
lay it on me.
So I've kind of gained I've gained a power where I can sneak and steal anything from anybody in their mind.
skills.
Their skills, their knowledge, anything. And all of her knowledge about undeath is in its own plane for the next 24 hours, essentially, whenever we rest. Whenever I rest next.
We have to preserve that. How do we do
Yes.
that?
Do you have
We
access to that spell that transfers 10 minutes of knowledge in an instant?
That's a wizard's spell, arcane. I don't think any of us have it. I don't think any of us are. Well, maybe L.
Yeah,
No.
Con's arcane, but
Con is.
like,
Con's an arcane caster.
but I don't know that spell. I'd need to have Pipette eat a scroll for me to be able to
Wait,
cast it.
did Pipette stay with Asmodeus?
No.
No. Okay.
Pipette is just in Con's cowl like usual.
Yeah.
Okay.
She finally crawls out and like she's just like, that was cool as fuck, Con. You did a good job. I can't do her
Good job,
voice.
Con. It's
Good-
just that.
Gives you 3 thumbs ups from all of the limbs on the one
Yeah.
side. She got like extra limbs and shit. 3 thumbs
Well-
way up.
Well,
I can't find the spell.
there's a lot. I mean, there's the basic stuff, which I can always write off because
Transfer knowledge or something.
So, is there
Look,
any way with that we could just put memory and thoughts in a bottle?
We should make a check for that.
Yeah,
I feel
arcane, religion, occult, any of them.
Okay.
Crafting, maybe we can make something. We have 24 hours. What if we
Yeah.
made something like in 24 hours, like
Ooh.
less than?
Mm-hmm.
A
I'll
crystal
give you
ball
a-
to keep all of your knowledge in.
I'm gonna do a
There you
help
go.
action, for this. So that's my help action to con
Mind Link.
crafting.
I found it. It's a first level arcane spell.
Mind link. Okay.
And occult. Arcane and occult. Mind Link.
It's a cult. Oh wait, that means Danny might have it.
Yeah. She might actually.
Wait a
She's like
second.
psychic and shit. She has telepathy. Mind reading. Danny also has mind reading.
Oh my god, yeah, and Danny can write down shit too.
So wait,
Mm-hmm.
could we mind link to
Danny
Reese
does not
and
have
transfer
mind.
the knowledge to all of us, truly gaining the powers that we just took? Like understanding as well as power?
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel like that would
probably,
make
yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
The
Oh, I
story
have an idea.
supports
I
us
have an
becoming
idea.
gods so strongly, it's hard not to just do it.
I have an idea. There
What's your idea, Con?
remember the
What's your idea,
item
Con?
that we touched way back when that swapped our minds? I think Con would try to use that
Oh my
principle
god, yes, in the
to be able to
Labyrinth
store
of Shimon
knowledge
Sek, yes.
and then put it in people's brains if they interact with it.
Okay.
Especially if you
Okay,
drink
yeah,
some
you
fucking
remember back
coffee.
to the Labyrinth of Shimon Sek. Yeah, right, when each of you transferred mentally into each other's bodies. Yeah, so let's see, that was crafting, 35, you're a master, but that's a 3. Con, you can take a 3 plus a 1 from guidance is a 4. So you want a 45 on your crafting, Con. Actually, 50. I know your crafting is very high, isn't it?
Okay. Yeah. Alright. And I do have a hero point to help me out in case. I really want this to work.
Okay.
Okay. a
54. That is enough. So how do you make this work? What do you do?
50. I think, well, we're in the plane of magic. There's gotta be an abundance of power to be able to
Yes.
craft this thing. Enough, like, pure raw magic to fuel the creation of this item.
I mean, also, we could also take the phylacteries of everything as a
That's
source of power.
True, the 4 liches.
The liches
There were
phylacteries.
4 liches in here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
each of them had a phylactery that fell
You
into the
set us
crafting
up
their-
so well.
You
Yeah.
didn't even know we were gonna do this shit. Oh.
I had
We're
no
gonna-
idea. This is
We're
great.
gonna repo their phylacteries and chop them up for parts.
We take the phylactery, there's like a little bit of soul in there, like scraping it out. Get out of there. Okay, it's empty.
Oh, wait, get out, gross.
It's a little bit ectoplasm. Clean that shit out. All right. Here's
Get your
here's my
filthy souls off of me.
here's my proposal based on all of this.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's supported mechanically that we can become full-fledged gods, but I think we could become godlings. I think getting control over the domain of death is going to give us this crazy like godlike awareness of undead, and like suddenly prayers that we're going to Urgathoa, we're hearing. We can't interact with it yet, like, but we're like starting to like. It's like Bruce Almighty when he becomes guy. He's like,
download.
it's the start, right? It's the beginning of like.
Yep.
So I would say so to keep this game somewhat balanced for us and for Eli, we're not gonna play like we're gods, but we have like role play wise, we're starting to take on some of the powers and responsibilities, and that means that like we have this sort of connection to these aspects. So Reese,
Yes.
I kind of threw you into the aspect of bone. Not just because of the bone jokes that you can make with this,
but it's fun.
Though you I'm sure are a Brook fan, and so I'm sure you're not
fucking
upset.
love the Soul King.
Yes,
he's one of my favorites.
The reason I thought this would be a good idea is partially because of what we're going to be doing on the Windseeker. We need a skeleton crew for the Windseeker. You know, the ship that was your sister's. And I'm going to need a first mate to help me. And I was thinking maybe you make the crew. Maybe the skeleton crew is yours to create as the Lord of Bones.
Yes.
And that also means that none of your undead ever upstage you in beauty, because you are always like flesh and blood and look pretty, and all your undead never look like you. So there's none of them are ever going to get above like your level in that sense.
I love this.
Plus, you get to wear like cool bone armor and shit that you can design however you like.
Oh.
Yeah.
God.
When people hear like, Reese, the Lord of Bones, they're gonna expect like a skeletal person that they just see this sexy man. Like, wait, you're the Lord of Bones? Yes, I am.
Yes. He takes masks off. I am, and it's just like a skull, like a crow skull.
I figured it fit for the connection too with not Adelina, but the dwarf, our dwarf friend, our gelatin friend.
And Anyanka.
Anyanka. Too many A names. Anyanka, you would have a stronger bond with her because she's a skeleton. And then so Khan the Bloody. I feel like blood. I know Danny's a vampire, but it's kind of a superficial blood thing. I feel like could learn the art of sangromancy and could use blood.
100%.
Yeah. You created a poison that could hurt celestials, I remember, or something like that. Like I feel
celestials
like
and undead. No,
it was
a
vampires.
poison for undead.
Yeah, that's what it was.
She
poison
curdled
for undead.
the blood of those Nosferatu. She put the poison inside of a plasma fruit. They ate it, and it curdled their blood. I
think you might not drink blood, really. I mean, in this scenario, you did, but like, blood. Blood is a resource, and you know how powerful it is, especially with like what you've seen with Danny. So I feel like it fits that you would have
maybe instead of drinking it, Khan like put it on her cheeks like war paint.
I do think, though, if Danny wanted blood really badly, would you be okay with spirit? Would spirit work for you?
Yeah. I'd be fine with that.
Okay. And I think spirit works for her just because of her bardic magic. She's very like her ethereal things that can affect people's attitudes and stuff.
Yeah. So I will cede to whichever Danny prefers.
Yeah. I'm only taking flesh because of the ghouls. I think I have to take over the ghouls.
Yeah.
I gotta be the ghoul man.
You're the ghoul man. I'm the bone man.
I'm Ghoul Boy Shane.
Ghoul Boy.
Hilarious.
Anyway, I just wanted to be clear about that. I didn't want to make you feel like you were forced to it. This is just the reasoning I was going through. I feel like this makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I personally a little prefer blood, but again, I'm also cool with whatever. It's just blood is so sexy. I can see why Danny and I would both be interested.
If you prefer the blood, take it.
I think that makes sense, and I think honestly, Danny might be a vampire, and you might, if you have blood, that means that you have like vampires and stuff that like will answer to you eventually. Like you'll have like control over that. But I also think that Danny's gonna have a connection to like
I feel like
Veltels and
Oh,
spirits and ghosts and stuff. You know.
Let's
Yeah.
have this discussion when
Some
Danny's
things.
here, because I don't
True.
I don't want to
True.
railroad it or like
Yeah.
lock her in.
Very
Mhm.
true. Good point.
Fair enough.
Anyway, I'm just so excited.
It's great.
It's really exciting.
Nadiri sees you all having this conversation, and she says to you, "You simply require a mind link, yes? Is this what I'm hearing?"
Yeah, that's what we
Preserve
really
the
need.
knowledge before it's lost.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know everything. There's a lot.
My powerful children, you are within the realm of Nevis. I can grant you this magic.
Holy
Hook
She
us up.
waves her
Yes.
hand, and a scroll appears, gilded on the edges like a Bible. The handwriting is perfect and loopy, and she floats it down to you, Con, and she says, "Here, Mass Mind Link. I believe you are a witch, yes? Have your familiar consume this and do as you please."
Oh, thank you very much. And she gets pipette and is like, "Yummy treats, enjoy."
What if it works too well?
Do I smell it?
What if we-
Smell it? Is that for me?
What if we mind meld so hard that I learn about all of your lives? Like we would just live each other's lives up to this point all at once.
Oh man.
I don't know if I'm ready to be that intimately acquainted with all of you.
There's a lot of intimacy, that's for sure.
But I am putting this into your, let's see, probably 5th level slots. Where? Oh, I see. It's in combat. I need to put it in preparation. So this is going to be like a 5th, I think, level slot for you, Con.
Okay.
Wherever those are. There they are. It's called Mass Mind Link, and it works just like Mind Link, but it's an hour's worth of information and can be up to 5 people.
Ooh, okay. Well, an hour's worth of information?
Yeah, it's an hour's worth of speaking.
Oh, an hour's worth of
Because
speaking. Okay.
Mind Link is... Yeah, it would be like if instead of speaking for an hour, you just get all of that in an instant. Because for a 1st level spell, you get 10 minutes. For the 5th level spell, you get an hour.
Okay. Well, then I think because I still don't know if that can instantly transfer all of the knowledge in Reese's noggin into all of us. So Con is still gonna like go ahead with like the mind meld phylactery machine. I like that, Nadiri was like, "Here's this scroll to fix all your problems," and Con was like, "Cool, neat. Anyway, I'm going to build a machine that does it better."
I already
Love
made
that.
Oh, you already made your crafting check too. Hold
Yeah.
on. What'd you roll? You got with a
shit, I
plus
didn't see
1 or a
that.
plus 2?
54.
Oh my god. 55, I think, with my aid if I was successful.
Yeah, with all y'all's
Yours
aid.
was a 3, and then a guidance would have been a 4.
Yeah.
So, I see the plus 4 is on there. So yeah, 54 is a success. I'd forgotten that you were doing that. What does this machine look like?
It really is just like 4 phylacteries stuck together.
A rudimentary device.
But there's runes that Pipette has helped transcribe. That would kind of make up a spell scroll
Reese
for
would help.
Mass Mind Link.
Yeah, I think Reese would help
Okay.
alongside any different things. Like you might want to put this finishing touch and this finishing touch here, because this will be like really symbolic, and I trust you, it will look so badass. He's all about the style, baby.
Make a fake facsimile of. You make a copy of the scroll and you duct tape it to the side of it.
I'd like to use my expertise in casting rituals. I feel like this process won't be as instantaneous as the spell because there's so much information. It might take a little while. So I want to get us ready for this ritual and do anything I can do to keep it stable and working.
Yeah.
Um,
And Khan is also using some of the pure magic from this place to fuel her machine.
Mhm.
So
Oh,
she's got
yeah.
like a big old vat with a little tube that's leading into it.
uh, I'll look to Nadiri as we're doing this and be like, by the way, thank you for
Mhm.
being patient with us and letting us do this here. We are not seen by the other gods. We don't know how they're going to act, but somebody needs to take over Undeath, and I don't want to leave it in the hands of the other evil gods. So,
No.
Yes, this is the first god death I have witnessed, but you are correct. The domain needs to be controlled. It is better for champions such as yourself to take the place rather than some of the other gods out there. There are much more wicked things in this universe.
yes, and we appreciate your patience. When we're done with this, hopefully we can move forward.
I should be able to aid you one last time. As my strength has returned to me, I do believe I can teleport you wherever you need to go. All of you appear
That'd be
tired.
fantastic. Yes. I'm a little bit pooped out. I'm a little tuckered out, you know.
S-
I've got
okay,
big
so
brain
you
right
want
now.
help. I want. Let's see. I want to see how else do you help Zavid? With you said you wanted to do something to help make this
I would
better. What do
use
you want to
because
do?
it's
Like with your ritual stuff.
the I know the nature of the knowledge. It's not about the knowledge itself. I'm excited to get this knowledge, but
Mhm.
the nature of it is religious because it was God's knowledge. So I'd like to make a religion check as my caster check, primary check for this ritual. Essentially, to aid. She's
Okay.
crafting something very quickly. Like we're gonna spend a few hours to like get these phylacteries, their purposes redone, to set it up, and then it's gonna take I don't know how long. It's gonna take for all the knowledge to disseminate to all of us. Um, and I imagine it's not going to be all the knowledge. It's going to be stuff that only has to deal with certain the certain aspects will be split, and then
aspect.
anything that's cross disciplinary can also be shared. But like if it,
Mhm.
for example, if there's stuff that has to deal with souls, like I'm not going to learn more about that. That's going to go to Danny. Danny's going to get all the soul shit. But if it's
Right.
like the nature between the soul and the flesh, if there's like some connection there, then I will learn about
Mhm.
that because it has to do with the flesh thing. So like I imagine that's how it's going to sort itself out. But that's actually not up to me. That's up to our crafter and her phylactery machine.
True. So roll me a religion check. You're looking for a 50 to be able to help any more. Reese, how do you want to help in this?
Let me hear a point.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You didn't get any.
What am I
Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna get a
exactly-
hero point on that.
Oh my god.
Here, use mine.
You.
All right.
And you can have guidance, Zavid.
Oh my.
Oh my
fucking
fucking-
god. Okay. Anybody else got it?
I think
I
Wasilka
got a
has a
hero
hero
point.
point. Here, Wasilka has one. Here.
Holy shit. There
You
we
need a
go.
13.
Lucky number 3.
Or even a 12 because of your.
Ah.
Oh my god, literally lucky number 3.
All right, take my hero point, my last one.
And if that doesn't work, I got one more too.
Come on.
Wasilka also has one more.
Oh, thank
There we
God.
go.
There you go.
Oh,
There you
thank
go.
me.
Alright, sorry.
Oh, thank me.
Oh, thank me. What am I helping with again? I'm sorry, I got distracted.
You're helping Khan build this phylactery machine that's going to help transfer the thoughts out of your brain. What skill
Yeah.
do you want to use to help with this?
I think society,
Okay.
because I know.
And how do you use that to help?
Because I think with thinking about like the ways that this can look like just like any normal in society, like any sort of machine, the way it doesn't look super inconspicuous, that if we use this for anything fucking else, it could just, this isn't just some creepy ass phylacteries. Like in my expertise, because I'm already being like this symbolism, that symbolism. I'm pretty much just like, all right, but we need to make this thing look like not even important. So I'm
Take a
thinking of
1 for guidance.
yeah. So basically, it's just like, no, we need to make this look like a fucking cucumber, like, like something kind of like that, like
Inconspicuous.
yeah, inconspicuous.
Cucumberlactory. Ouch.
It's all right. I have a hero point. My last one.
So does
Have you
Wasilka
guys
as
ever
well.
seen Bad Santa?
No.
No.
It's a good movie. And in it, there's this innocent-looking kid who gives a gift to Billy Bob Thornton's character. He goes, "What the fuck is this?" He goes, "It's a wooden
Right on the
pickle."
nose.
It's like, "Thanks, kid."
All right, so that is enough between you and Zavid to boost Khan up above to a 60, which is a critical success. So Khan,
Nice.
working together with all of you, you're able to kludge together this machine out of phylacteries, duct tape, and gumption. What does it look like? What does it do? How does it work? You have the floor.
I can't wait to see what inconspicuous this thing is actually going to look like.
Well, I'm just defaulting to glass orbs as the phylactery. But it's basically like there are 4 stations centered around I guess, yeah, she would put the power source in the middle, all surrounding like this big vat of pure magic. So essentially, you can stand at the station with your hands on the glass orb. Reese can transfer all of his undeath knowledge into it, and it will redistribute to all of us.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
And as it does so, it works slowly over the course of an hour or two, but the amount of knowledge you're gaining is breathtaking. Reese, you're almost used to it at this point, but
Yeah.
your head pounds with the sheer amount of knowledge you're holding at once. And you can tell it's not going to last because it's pounding at the inside of your skull, but you're able to concentrate, put the most important things into this orb, the magic orb, and it redistributes. Khan, you learn things about blood you never knew. Zavid, the depth of secrets that is flesh is boundless. You had no idea. Danny learns about spirits, ghosts, banshees, the great beyond, and the hereafter, and all of these secrets that Urgathoa had created and sculpted and collected for 28,000 years flood into your brains. And I believe I'm going to give all of you legendary in undeath lore, and Zavid probably a little bit higher since you were already legendary in undeath lore. So what do you do at this point? The dead body of Urgathoa lies at the ground. Danny has taken the sickle from her chest. You have saved at least a good chunk of this knowledge that Reese has stolen from her.
What does Reese get to maintain in all of that after knowing all of that knowledge that pertains to the bone?
What do you mean?
You know how like everybody else has oh, you know this. Is there something that Reese actually retains, or is the fact that he was basically the vessel the thing?
Oh yeah, you'll be retaining your undeath's lore. You'll just be losing that +8 once you rest, but you'll still be probably legendary. I think we're gonna make you legendary in undeath lore. So yeah, you'll at least retain that.
Cool.
But the +8 from the deity stuff
no
will
worries.
go away.
That makes sense. OP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a little OP. So Nadiri comes up to you and says, "Do you know what you are going to do with her body?"
Well, there's a place for it to be buried.
There is.
Well, that is good to know. I will leave you to it then. Do you require passage out of the maelstrom?
Oh,
Yeah.
where are we going after this?
Yeah, where are we going?
I believe we were going back home for downtime.
Oh, good.
Before we go home, we're still out of the eyes and ears. I wanna like
Yes.
do a little tell all about Capriri.
Gossip.
Ooh, tea
Dish,
time.
dish, dish.
Nadira, you might want to make some tea because it's about to be hot. All right. Nadira probably already knows this shit. It's not even like
Oh, yes,
tea
of
to her.
course.
She waves her hand, and a cup of piping hot tea appears in each of your hands.
I have always called Capriri the god of ghouls because that is what he calls himself. And part of his control over me was that there were certain things I had to say, had to do, certain ways I had to act. The truth is, Capriri is no god. Not entirely. He is a demon lord, like Baphomet, Discari, Mammon. Actually, Mammon's a devil. But you know what I mean. There is like as close to divine as you can get without actually being a god, right? No one is going to look at Baphomet and tell him to his face, "Hey, you're not a god." Baphomet will destroy you, and this is the same sort of anger that he has. He believes that he should have taken Nyarlathotep's position, but because Nyarlathotep is too powerful, he thought maybe he could take Urgathoa's instead. He's expecting when I return that he'll be able to occupy the vacuum that she has left. He will notice soon enough that he has not gained any of her powers. He will still attempt to stand in, exert the control he already has over ghouls and whatnot. We must pretend we do not know what we know. We must pretend that we only did what we did because Urgathoa was so powerful we had no other choice. And that our focus is only on Rovagug.
Yep. Got it.
Capriri will be our ally for a short time. He will believe that he knows the real situation and that we are dumb. And that we have fucked him over, but at the same time, he will pretend like he knew this was going to happen all along. That's just the kind of guy he is. And he will probably plot against us. He'll scheme for a way to get one over on us or to get our power away from us, something like that. We will not let that happen, but we will also not give him any reason to think we have more power than what we do. So, we just pretend this didn't happen. We pretend we didn't eat of Urgathoa's flesh, that you did not create this wonderful device, Khan, and that you didn't steal all that knowledge, Reese. We are not the wardens of undeath at the moment.
No.
We simply learned a lot during our time in Urgathoa's palace. We simply used the knowledge I already had to create the skeleton crew for the Windseeker and whatnot.
Yes.
Nothing new. Nothing crazy. Until we have an opportunity to take down Capriri. Because his death will have to happen in order for us to win. This future I saw, the one where he's fighting with us, he is no match. He is not even a slight match. And his control over the ghouls is corrupt. He's an awful influence on them. He makes them veer towards eating their own, the cannibalism of it all. Because he was the first ghoul, according to him, and that's how he became a ghoul. All ghouls must follow his footsteps. The Len ghouls prove that's not true. You do not have to eat your own kin's flesh. You can have an ethical system. It's possible. You can even have culture and cities. But Capriri will never allow them to flourish under his rule because he is actually a demon lord. That's right. My god was a demon lord this whole time and not a god. Been following a demon lord.
That really tracks, and playing stupid is what I do best.
I literally couldn't tell anybody. I was unable to tell anyone this. And now that I can, and he's not hearing us, I can say it out loud. Nadir is probably already well aware of his actual status, and people don't call him
Oh yes,
a...
him.
Sorry.
Him who gnaws seemed more like a pest, of a small mammal that lives under the porch.
And that drives
It's
him
garbage.
crazy. He's obsessed with getting out of that status, as many demon lords are, let's be real. If he were to have come here and killed Urgathoa himself, he actually might have been able to ascend, but he's lazy. He sent me to do it instead. So he's going to be really upset if we show that we have all this power. So all I'm asking is us to just keep it on the DL, play dumb, and business as usual when we get back. Is that cool?
I do have a question. What is our official story ever since we killed the shadow?
Well, I can't hide that he'll be able to sense divinity in us. So all I'll say is that, because he knows I've been taking shadows using the staff, I'll say that we used it to weaken her, but we had to absorb it in order to kill her body. She was too powerful. There was no other way. That's a truth. We did do that to kill her, but we are ignorant of what we are. He'll know that we're demigods, but not gods. And he'll think that, okay, I'm still above them. And he'll be scheming a way to either deprive of us of this power or gain power of death in some other way, right? As long as if I'm still serving him, he knows our connection will be broken and everything, but we just play dumb. He can't read our minds or do things like that anymore because we're no longer mere mortals.
Okay. So we have...
We're fucking immortal. We're immortal.
I can't believe it. We actually did it. Oh,
We're immortal. Khan, you'll never have to go to that crypt.
you're right.
I mean,
if you want.
maybe if someone kills you.
I'd like to see them fly.
That would be quite the sight.
I'm sure Pipette would be happy eventually for you to get there for the master. But look, if we become actual gods, like not just demigods holding on to this domain between the four of us, sort of like when out of game when they shared the power of the Power Stone or whatever in Guardians of the Galaxy, like one person couldn't hold on to it, but all of us together could handle it. That's kind of like what we're doing now with Undeath.
Sort of.
Yeah.
It really is.
And so I think
just because I thought it would be really funny if Reese still loved the knowledge of Undeath from Urgathoa, because when we were leveling up, I even asked Eli, I'm like, I have a couple options, but should I do the funny thing? Without explaining what I was thinking. And he's just like, yeah, fuck it, I don't care. I'm like, okay.
Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I think our story is basically the same, but this whole eating the flesh and taking on a death, we never did that. That never happened.
It never happened.
And if he's confused as to why he doesn't have that power yet, he's going to investigate and try to figure it out. But we don't know. We just killed her. Nothing happened after that.
Yeah.
And to prove this, we are going to keep her body interred in her palace in Abaddon.
Okay.
That's the plan.
If you would like, I can return this body to the palace within Abaddon. I know the teleportation circle to her palace. She brought me there once before she kidnapped me here.
I nod and just say, I'm going to be real. It's real crazy talking face to face to a goddess right now. And we're just very nonchalant about it.
You have proven yourselves worthy. You have saved me. You have destroyed a very corrupt being. You have done good this day for the multiverse. Know this. You are all very powerful.
Nadiri, since we are not gods yet and we can still walk on the mortal realm, is there anything you want your followers to know that they're maybe getting wrong? maybe something for them to focus more on. We can maybe we can deliver this message to them if you're having trouble getting through to them, or if there's something you want done as a favor.
Know that a tragedy and a loss does not have to mean an end. One must still fight for hope and love, even if one has felt pain and loss.
Write that down. Write that down. Yeah, and I'll make sure that message gets out. Because I mean, sometimes you can have a prophet, but then you have like factions and splinter groups of just like, no, follow the gourd. No, it's the shoe. It's the shoe is the sign of the Messiah. So like,
It's the shoe.
Like the way of the gourd. We're all individuals. I'm not. Shut up.
Yes, we are
sorry
all
about that.
individuals.
I'm not. These quotes are flowing out of me. I'm too tired to have a real conversation. I'm just trying to say that like I wanted to give her she helped us in the fight. I know like we healed her and we rescued her and everything, but like just because we're not asking her to fight Rovagug. Like Urgathoa came here like basically demanding that she join them. So I'm just like, you do you. If there's something we can do for you on Galarian to help you out, we'd be happy to. Because I know sometimes mortals are thick-headed and they don't listen to their gods. But
Yes. Just tell them that hope lives on.
hope lives on. I think I have a really good way of telling everybody that, in fact.
Gonna put it in the pamphlet?
Oh, better.
Hell yes. More better than that.
But that's not today. That's not happening today. I think that's it. I don't have anything else I want to do.
Then you heal up all the undead, but we can say a hand wave that, see if you did it.
Well, I'm so cooked.
I'm
Very
I'm
well.
very tired. I gotta go put my baby to bed and I might fall asleep.
Yeah.
Okay, then Nadiri says to you,
Then where is it you would like to go? Turn to your home in... where is your home?
Oh, where's the Windseeker?
Oh, that would be actually a good idea to go
the
back to
Windseeker is with Adelina at their mother's house.
I mean, we could go back to the Windseeker. Or we can go back to Druma, it doesn't matter.
Or you could go to Druma or Shadow Valley.
I know it's not really possible to have a real role play with that, but part of me wants to go to find Demirius and be like, hey, look, it's a demigod. But it doesn't matter as much if Abe's not here to role play Demirius.
True.
So I guess Shadow Valley, and then we can recall the Windseeker to like come to us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because wait a minute, where's the Rune Lord's head? I sent that away. Who did I send that to?
That's in your jar, in your bag.
Didn't I put
in your
her
bag,
head
hold it.
into the mailbox thing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so it's on the Windseeker, so it's with Adelina.
Yeah.
We got to go to the Windseeker. I want to talk to the Rune Lord.
Okay.
Like not immediately, but set it up for later. I want to have conversations with this Rune Lord of Wrath because holy shit. There's only like 7 of them and they're all evil except apparently this one. So like it'd be really cool to
She was exceptionally evil. She was just dead.
She was past tense. I think actually
Was, yes, past tense.
wasn't there I don't know. You can talk about it later.
According to my canon, we can talk about it later. That's fine.
Yeah. Let's. All right.
Very well.
We wrapping up?
Nadiri reaches down. Yep, just about. Nadiri reaches down, touches your head, and says,
Ah yes, the Windseeker, an airship upon Galarian. I shall send all of you there shortly.
and with a wave of her hand, a splash of the mana that's still pooling on the floor appears, and everything goes white for a moment.
Don't give up hope either.
Then, come on, faction, friend, grab.
Hell yeah.
Grab that.
And then this. Everybody's going on the Windseeker.
There we go. Yes. And when your eyes start to come back to you, the first thing you notice is the salt breeze and the smell of the air as you feel beneath your feet the familiar creaky wooden planks of the Windseeker.
Oh, home
And
sweet
at
home.
at the helm, you see Reese's sister, Adelina, as she looks to you and says, "Oh, shite! All of you are back so soon?
Huh.
Where have you been?
Long story. Gonna need to take a seat.
Oh, really? I've got quite a bit of time. You know, Ma, she's really not much with the stories, tells a lot about flowers and such. Please, please, come downstairs. I'll get the kettle on. Tell me all about it." As she throws her arm around you, Reese, and starts to pull you downstairs. And I think this is where we're going to stop for today.
All
God,
right.
yeah. That's
yeah.
good shit.
Thank you, everyone, for so much for joining us. Oh my god, you guys literally killed a god.
Oh my
Stole
God.
her knowledge.
Congratulations.
Killed a god, stole her
Stole
knowledge,
her
ate her
knowledge
body.
and her essence.
Fun.
Yep. Took over, reconfigured the foundations of undeath.
I didn't even
think
know
next
I
time
was
we're gonna
gonna
do a
do the
downtime.
body eating thing.
I
that
love
just
that.
happened. I was
Felt
just
right
like,
in the moment.
yeah, it did. It felt really right. I was like, I gotta take a bite.
Happy Easter.
Yay, happy Easter. I mean, hey, you call this the Last Supper.
Yeah.
I believe we're taking at least a week or two off because a
Yep.
couple of people have just stuff. So yeah, but when we come back, we're going to be doing some downtime, and then we're jumping right into the big meat of Chapter 5, Season 5. Hope everyone will
Alright.
join us soon. We'll see you then. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.